of business.
And there we go. Pete's just starting. Thanks for starting us off.
What? I'm sorry. I was
We
just...
can do a quick 3 count.
This bodes well.
This bodes well. No,
I
we're
think
just
it's
keeping
great.
it
No,
as
this
is.
is just how we do it.
This is welcome to the first Patreon draft, man. If you're listening to this, that means you are donating at the True Grit tier or above. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your donation. You are the reason why I have money to keep doing things like this in the podcast studio. So thanks to all 3 of you that are donating. This is the Star Trek draft, man.
That's it. You and me and him. No, I'm just kidding.
We're in the room right now.
Yeah. This is the Star Trek draft, man. So we're going to be drafting much like if you listen to our hero draft. We're going to be drafting different positions. Only this time we're trying to see who can draft the best crew to man a starship. Or woman a starship, or person a starship, or however we're supposed to call it nowadays.
Or Kelpian.
Kelpian, yeah, it might. Yes.
So you heard a couple of voices. You heard Pete's voice already.
Oh, shut up.
We have to my right, Mr. Pete Lentz, draft veteran. How you doing?
Hey. What's up, guys?
Hey, how you doing today,
I'm
man?
excited to be here. Dude.
I'm excited to have you.
I've been practicing Jesus Christ Superstar all day today.
In Klingon?
No, not in the original
You
Klingon.
didn't do it hard enough then. You didn't want it.
Didn't go hard.
You didn't want it.
Jesus was a Klingon.
That's going to be a bumper sticker that I made. Right across from me, we have Mr. Brian Martin.
Sins from heaven.
You have no honor.
Is the Batleth going to become the cross?
It's two batlets.
He's just out there screaming.
I like my Jesus muscular. So,
We've certainly set a tone, haven't we?
Mr. Martin, how are you doing today, sir?
Shaka when the walls fell.
All right, then. Excellent.
Oh, it's going to be that kind of party, is it?
It's going to be that kind of party.
Okay, nerd.
And to my left, we have a newcomer to the drafts, man.
Oh, shit.
Mark Sizzlechest. How are you doing today,
I'm
sir?
fantastic, and I'm so excited to do this. This is the closest to sports I've ever been, and I'm really excited that it's Star Trek for sports.
There you go. It is Star Trek for sports. That's what we're getting on this.
It's Trek ball.
Yeah,
Trek ball.
Trek ball.
So if you have never listened to one of our drafts before, here's how this is going to work. We are going to draft some numbers here, 1 through 4. That'll give us our order, and we're going to do what's called a snake draft. So it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth.
Even though snakes have been eradicated by the 23rd century.
Even though the draft has also been eradicated by the 23rd century. I will pick my number first, and it appears that I will have fucking number 4. Jesus Christ.
You get a double pick,
Number 1, sucker!
You get a double pick.
Yeah, but I'm
I
the
like
last
where this
pick
is
first
going.
round.
I
All
like where
right.
this is going.
I don't like this. You number 1, Pete?
Yeah, I am number
Yes.
1.
I don't like this shit
Fortunately, 3 is my number.
at all.
So.
3 is Mark. All
I
right.
am taking
It's a magic
the-
number, I'm told.
I
seed
keep trying to tell
position
my
at number
wife that
2.
she's not.
What did you say?
Number 2.
Number 2.
That's,
All right.
That's the tried and true seed position.
Is it? Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much always do on these things, right?
Yeah,
Now,
I do.
I'm fucked because everybody has got it at this point. They're like seeds too.
Sees too, yeah. I'm fucked because the 1 or 2 times I have been for, I've been in last place in the voting. So as always, this will go for votes to see.
But you know what's seriously wild?
What?
We are sitting in our order.
We are.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we
Wow,
are.
hey.
Hey, look at this guy with the math over here.
I'm math good.
All right then. So without further ado,
Oh man, yeah. Here.
without further ado. Like I said, we'll be drafting much like we drafted with the hero draft. So these are the positions that we will be drafting for: a captain, a scientist or an engineer, a security.
That's gonna be a rough square to write in.
Yes, it is. Spilled some beer on the draft sheet here. Security officer, a medical member of medical, Starfleet Medical.
Somebody can stitch you up. I don't know.
We'll draft a ship, a uniform, a villain, one of the theme songs, and for all you fantasy players out there, we have 2 flexes, which we are calling the away team members: away team 1 and away team 2.
I think it would be great if we chose people we would want to get off the ship at all times.
Yeah, like the expendable cast,
for the
right?
away
the red
team,
shirts.
We
you have to
can't
choose,
all draft
like,
Wesley Crusher.
Right. But I wouldn't feel
Dr.
good
Pulaski.
about it.
I wouldn't feel bad about it.
That's,
I'm only here for Wesley. I'm just saying.
Okay. All right then. So Pete,
Yes, sir.
whatever you want to take first, whatever, it's on you.
Put your money where your mouth is, baby.
All
Your
right,
notes
man.
in front of you. What are you
All
going
right,
with?
I
here?
do. Well, let's see. So I'm gonna pick.
What position are you going with here?
That's what I'm thinking of, because I got solid picks across the board, but I
Pete
gotta
has solid picks, he says.
For now.
Hey,
That means they're going to get taken.
listen.
means-
I've had solid picks before, and we all know that Poprikans do not respect history. So
I feel like the.
Are you shitting on the audience already?
Already.
It's real early.
every time.
Real
Oh,
early,
yeah.
though.
The common denominator
The
is
first pick
you.
hasn't been done.
Hey, look, just because I'm on average 20 years older than everybody in Paprika.
Hey, the
Must be
best
it.
the
Must
best
be
draft
it.
performance Pete ever had was one where his first 3 picks were randomized. I just want to get that.
That is not wrong, actually. that is 100% that happened.
All right, where are you going first?
All right, so I feel like I gotta get a clutch one off the table here. I'm gonna go with science officer engineer. I'm gonna pick Data from the Next Generation.
Oh,
Is that a
surprising?
combined role, science or engineering?
Yes, science or.
Yes, that's what I asked about yesterday. Was
picked
if that's
both.
the if it's
Either
the
your
same.
ship is okay,
Yeah.
or you can investigate alien parasites.
I'm all right.
Two
I'll
options.
make it. It's fine.
Look, you can slide your doctor over for the parasites.
But we're gonna go with Data because you could do worse than having a ranked android with a positronic neural net.
Yeah, he never got hacked ever. He was always on the up and up.
That's true, but I mean, he literally knows all the things, and if he doesn't know anything, well, he'll just download it and know it in a few seconds.
He doesn't
So
know the way to the human heart.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen several
have-
episodes about that.
I have
bit.
other crew members for that.
Well, this is going to get interesting.
All right, so that's my pick: science officer, lieutenant commander, Data.
What's your favorite Data on screen performance?
I think it's
Like when you think Data, like do you go to the movies? Do you go to a specific episode?
my
of TNG?
yeah, and
Data lore?
I can't remember which episode it is. I don't remember the name of the episode, but it's the one. It's the one where he's at the bar and at 10 Forward, and he gets given a drink.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he drinks and he goes, "Bleh! I hate this.
that was
Ah.
Generations.
Is
Generations.
it Generations the movie?
Yeah.
I hate this. Would you like some more? Yes,
Yes,
please.
please. Yeah.
That's classic Data to me. He's establishing that he hates something, but he wants to try it again just
It's the
because
experience.
it's the experience.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Speaking of that, I really like that moment where it's one of the Q episodes where Q departs and Data just bursts into laughter, and it's like Q's parting gift to Data was a laugh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
remember
yeah.
that one?
Yes.
I do love my. Yeah, I love Q for that.
Yep.
One reason, specifically that and giving Rikers some powers.
What a dick.
What a fucking ass.
That's
Mark,
my
you want
pick.
to throw in on any Data thoughts here?
Yeah, every time he swears, it's my favorite thing. Like every time Data swears, I mean, he's always clutching a fight, so I totally get the pick. Like he's strong and nimble, and like he will go toe to toe with some Borg, which I dig. But like every time he swears, it's just adorable. Like an android shouldn't be that cute, and he's just like shit. And I'm like, every single consonant just landed right there. Oh my God, Brett Spiner, do
Spiner's
voice work.
Acting.
Right.
Has he done any?
Surely.
I think he has.
I'm pretty sure he was on
Yeah.
Gargoyles.
Probably Gargoyles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The entire Next Generation cast was on
Frank's just
Gargoyles.
called everybody and was like, come on.
What are you doing this weekend?
Marina Sirtis was in that show. I
was.
think.
Hell yeah, she was.
Yeah. All right then, Brian. It is on you. Who was your first pick?
Oh man, I'm not gonna do that first. I am going to choose my captain first.
God damn it! Don't you fucking take my pick.
I don't think I am. I don't know if I'm going to.
That's what I struggled with. Was like everybody's going to want the captain. Do I do that?
But see, here's the thing about captain on
And
this.
that's why you've already
The
lost.
thing about captain with this
no.
draft is you've got 4 solid picks.
There's
like
excellent
there's
picks.
no wrong
No.
pick for captain. I don't think.
Jonathan Archer.
Oh well, I mean that's obviously the wrong. pick.
Oh, okay.
That's the wrong pick.
But I mean,
Janeway's not the best.
you could make an argument for Janeway.
You could make an argument.
Oh, yeah.
Because
You could make an
Janeway's
argument.
got a fucking statue now. Like,
Right.
like in the real world, they
Yeah.
made a statue for Janeway.
You can make
so-
an argument for Janeway, but that argument would be after people have already voted and not
It's
voted
not
for
gonna.
Yeah,
Janeway.
I would-
It's not gonna
I would
win
put
you anything.
Saru over Janeway just to do it.
I don't know, man.
Just to do it.
I mean, Janeway
Lorca
went
goes
all
over
the way.
Janeway.
Janeway went all the way to the Delta Quadrant and brought back bitchin' fucking armor that can stand toe to toe with the Borg.
I
mean,
armor.
I guess that's a good point.
who's
I mean,
your,
All right,
who's your
there's gonna be
captain there,
arguments made.
Brian?
I'm excited. Let's do it.
So my pick is Jean-Luc Picard.
Yeah,
of course it is.
Obvious.
Of course it
Obvious.
is.
Obvious.
I mean, the
Brian,
finest,
in case you didn't know,
classiest captain.
just won the whole draft. He just won. I told Leslie when I left, that should be someone's number one pick.
I don't know.
And whoever has that as their captain is his.
I would just like to point out,
Cisco
Jean-Luc
could do
Picard
it.
is my second for captain. He was not my first.
Yes,
Not
let's
your
go.
first.
Nope.
Y'all are
He's not
fucking
mine.
That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll
nuts.
find out about
Yeah,
that.
we'll get there.
We'll
We'll
find
get
out
there.
about that. But I mean,
Nice.
So
what
you're
can
saying
be
classy.
said?
You're saying classy. Obvious.
He's classy.
He's French.
He's. I mean, theoretically,
Like
he's
British
French.
Yeah.
He owns a goddamn vineyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like being there.
No, I mean, of course not.
No. He's
He likes
racist.
drinking the wine.
yeah.
He can pound some Aldebaran whiskey.
Yeah.
As we've
And-
seen. You know, we
and some
think he's
Earl
just
Grey.
this prim and proper OT Earl Grey hot guy, but no, he can pound some whiskey with the best of them.
All right.
He's like weirdly into history.
Enjoys a weekend on Risa.
Risa?
Yeah, he is this sort of like.
He's like a well-traveled man.
I think he's like Remington Steele in his 50s or 60s. That's what I feel
That's
like.
a hell of a comparison. All right.
I think he's like
He's a
this just-
Renaissance man.
Yeah, he's this dapper kind of slick dude, but he's a little bit older, a little bit wiser. He's got some mistakes in his past. Obviously, he's got an artificial heart. The Stargazer, Locutus, definitely a
dark
skeleton in the
spot in his
closet.
history.
Doesn't matter. He walked out.
Yeah, he came back.
Yeah.
Like that's to me, that's the selling point. Is like he walked out of there.
Yeah.
Like
Bitch.
yeah, yeah,
And he
the
gets
crew also pulled him out of
yeah.
that.
Still fair, but
and he also gets my absolute favorite hour of Star Trek ever, which is the Inner Light.
Yes. For light.
That's not the light one. That's a chain of command.
Chain of
But
command,
the
that's right.
Inner Light is the one where the alien probe just fires a beam at him. He like passes out on the bridge and then lives an entire
A whole
lifetime
new
in
life.
somebody else's
Yeah,
body.
yeah.
And is only like he's just dormant on the bridge in a coma for like 30 minutes. But he wakes up and he can play the flute.
He comes to and Riker's just like nudging at his inert body. Let's get this guy out of here.
Just I know how to do it, and he just tickles behind his ear.
He also has a very, very effective starship move named after him.
Oh yeah, the Picard maneuver.
The Picard maneuver.
Jump to light speed for like half a second.
Yeah. I got one of those in the bed.
Also-
what's your favorite, and that is your favorite Picard moment is the Inner Light?
Favorite Picard moment? I mean, that whole episode is probably it. I can't think of a better. It's just that is Trek, man, and it's Picard's show.
It's okay. All right, right. On.
yeah.
All right. You, sir.
Mine. Well, first, hold on. Picard's the line must be drawn here.
This far, no further.
Someone's got
that's
issues with that.
Just no. I
Yeah,
loved
someone
it.
at this table.
Someone at this table has
love
issues
that
with
line.
that. Yeah.
I love that line.
Rewatched it yesterday, doing a little bit of research, and that line
Absolutely.
came up, and I was like, Leslie Brian's got an issue with this Picard, and she's like, "What? Why?" And nobody knows. Nobody knows.
That's not my Picard. That's
It-
not
that's-
classy.
But he's
It's
at the end of
PTSD
his
Picard.
road. Like it's yeah.
Yeah, that's PTSD Picard.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's what
That's
Leslie
the
said.
trauma.
We
Like, that's
did that
exactly-
already, is what I'm saying.
Nah, I love that.
He worked through it.
I
Now we
loved
can
it.
do it with the bigger budget.
Yeah. that's what
that
I'm
is the
saying.
point. That is
Yeah.
the point. It's
That's
a Picard
fine.
that exists to service a large budget, not to service the character. That's what I've always felt.
Fair enough.
Now, hey, and I want to get on record here by saying that I really do love First Contact. I don't dislike First Contact at all.
I'll be editing
Good.
that out.
And it's
Because also,
probably
like his guns when he's like climbing out of the fog. Like if I'm that shredded at 65,
I mean, like
I can only hope.
I didn't even get into how sexy he is.
he's very
No,
sexy.
That's a sexy man.
That's a sexy dude.
Speaking of sexy men, Mark, you're up.
Thank you, sir. So speaking of people who lived whole other lives, I brought a visual aid, but I think the reaction will be radio worthy. This is my first pick.
my boy.
This is my first pick. What we're seeing here, everyone, is a Chief Miles motherfucking O'Brien action figure.
Oh,
From
shit.
1997, still in box, that has been hanging on my wall for as long. Like,
is
look at that
fantastic.
ancient,
Dusty as fuck.
look at that
Does that say
ancient price
KB
tag.
Toys on it?
Roses. Yeah. For $2.99, still in box. I hang this on my wall. It is constantly there. Chief Miles O'Brien.
I bought this at Brendel's.
Is that your engineer that you're going with?
That is my engineer.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, like, listen, Data, Geordi, like, we've got unbelievable engineers across the board, but nobody is battle ready the way that Chief Miles O'Brien is.
That is key right there.
And, like, I feel like as a variety pack, like, for the ultimate crew, if you can get Chief Miles O'Brien in there, like, the way that I picture it is, like, just about anybody can figure out what to do with the warp core if they're wearing the yellow, right? But where something like an invasion was happening, I feel like Geordi would just, like, shut the door and then, like, wave everybody out and make sure he's the last one out, and he's going to tuck and roll, and he's going to get out, and then he's going to immediately call Picard and be like, let's just go ahead and blow the thing and just disengage
Detach
the
the
disc.
saucer.
Just detach the saucer. Just nuke the damn thing. Meanwhile, Miles O'Brien is going to walk upstairs bloody and haggard and be like, it's good. We got it. It's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
I got my
Like,
boys
he's
on
got
it.
a bottle of whiskey and like a bloody batleth in his hand, and it's over, and he already handled it. It's situated. Like, the fact that character was so rock solid that they had to bring him onto DS9 because they were like, we need this guy in
How
this.
rock solid is Miles O'Brien in the Next Generation?
Very little, but they were onto something, and they couldn't utilize him in that way. And I appreciate that they knew. Like, nobody asked Phil Collins to do the Tarzan soundtrack that hard, and nobody asked Cole Meany to deliver on this random dude standing behind the teleportation bay. And they sold it so damn hard that they were like, give him the whole fucking space station. Give him the whole fucking thing.
Jeez,
give
Pete,
it to
Pete,
him.
you got some serious competition over here.
Give it to him.
All right.
Can we talk about for a second how hard Phil Collins went on the Titanic?
100%. Nobody asked him to, and he delivered, and that's what Cole Meany did. They're the same person, two different venues.
To be fair, too, they did evolve O'Brien in later seasons. By about season 4, season 5, he got Keiko. He,
right,
you know, they were doing episodes about him and stuff, and yeah. So,
But then he was a prisoner of war in DS9. He had like the virtual prison thing where he lived 80 years in prison way before Black Mirror did it. Like, this dude went through shit and just went to work every day, loved his wife, like, just
Is he in
got
any
it
of the
done.
Next Generation movies?
No, he was already on
doing
He was already
DS9.
on DS9.
Yeah.
He was already on DS9.
Right on.
So
Well,
yeah, that is. I had to bring the visual aid for
solid,
the first pick.
solid.
he was my first pick for one of my away guys
Yep.
Oh, okay.
because I had already
Rock
had
solid pick.
the other
good.
things were about. I was like, I got to have O'Brien.
Did you know how bad I love?
I did not. But
Nobody
knew.
I have a
Nobody
new
knew.
respect for how much he's loved. Me.
Oh,
All right,
Not even on my list.
I'd say.
that's a failure on your part.
it
I'm
might
just
be.
saying.
oversight.
It's over to me
Oversight.
now. I'm going to go ahead and get my villain before anybody takes him.
I feel like I know what's coming.
I feel like it's the obvious choice. There's like two obvious choices out there for villain, or two obvious for me.
Are you stabbing at the?
I am with Hell's Heart.
From Hell's Heart?
Yeah, I'm stabbing at
Son
the-
of a bitch.
I'm
Had
going to
to.
go ahead and take Khan
Yeah, you
off
have
my
to.
list.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like that's going to get me some good votes.
Is that
Wait,
TOS Con?
Kelvin's
or,
still on there.
That's
Kelvin
right. Kelvin
Con's
Con
still
is still
on.
on. No
Kelvin
one's
Con.
picking that shit.
picking
No,
that shit.
TOS Con. Very
Okay.
good. Very good. Let me
Because
make
Kelvin
sure.
Con is some bullshit.
Cumber, bitch.
The
Bandersnatch
whitest,
Cumbersport.
pastiest Indian man to ever exist is Benedict Cumberbatch with an Indian name of Khan.
Yep.
Do you think somebody owns the chest piece from
Yeah,
Wrath of
I
Khan?
do because my name is Sizzle Chest.
There's a Sotheby's auction for it.
I watched Space Seed yesterday, and I'm like, this man is just knocking it out the park, hamming it up all over the Enterprise.
If anybody can choose scenery, oh man.
Montalban
we
knows
needed-
how to do some scenery. Man.
Yeah, we needed more Shatner and Montalban in the same scene.
Well, the name like Ricardo Montalban, it's
you
like
gotta come with it.
his dad was like, "You have the best name. you can only give them the best."
I don't know what that accent was, but I'll take it. Yeah, we get two appearances. We get Space Seed. We get
John Montalban, that was his dad.
Stu
Steve.
Montalban. Khan,
He's an
I think,
accountant.
is
He's
Khan
fine,
is
though.
the dopest Star Trek villain there is, in my opinion. My man just gets one episode and one dope movie to just. He's, I think, one of the few villains that dies and still wins. Like, he doesn't like achieve his number one goal of like stealing Genesis and creating a new shit and then being able to rule over a new created planet, but he took Kirk's best friend away from him. And that's a win in my book if you're a villain. If you can kill your hero's best friend, and obviously Kirk is wrecked as shit after that.
And they had to make a whole other movie about that.
And they had that. Look,
That's
villains
just the
making
Aftershock
new
movie.
movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ramifications of what he does carries over to a whole new movie. And then Khan's presence hangs about a little bit in the beginning of Star Trek 3.
And it's just not to discount Space Seed either, because he really delivers on all cylinders in Space Seed as well. Like, I mean, he takes over the Enterprise. This dude was like last awake in the 21st century. Mm-hmm. He wakes up in the 23rd, and within fucking minutes has the whole system gamed.
Yeah, got the whole game mapped out. You got anything on Khan there, Pete?
Oh, I think he monologues really well.
He's very good at the monologue.
No, I feel, you know, because you're absolutely right about Space Seed, but his finest his finest moment, I think, is from Hell's Heart.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, stab at the with his last breath, and all of his crew is done, and his arms all fucked up and twisted, and his face is fucked, and his hair's messed up, and he uses the Genesis torpedo to fucking try to nuke the Enterprise. With his last breath. He really is trying to.
That dude is hateful.
I mean, it's not just a fun monologue. It's not just a cool speech. It's a moment where he is literally stabbing with his last breath at the Enterprise. Misses, but still doing it.
Yeah.
You know, instead just all the way out, burning fire of hatred. But up to that point, like, still managed to be, you know, fucking killed everybody on Regular One.
That's what I was gonna say.
You know, took over the Enterprise and took their shields down, shot them the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his only real mistake was following the Enterprise, being overzealous and following the Enterprise into Motari
Nebula.
And I mean, you got to think also that this guy, like, Kirk's sold him a lemon. You know, I mean, SETI Alpha, what was it, 5 that he was supposed to be on, and he ended up on 6?
SETI Alpha 6?
I mean, but to Kirk's credit, man, he didn't know that shit was going to go down.
No, he didn't know that sun was going to explode.
Yeah.
6 months after we were
Bro, I didn't know the sun was going to fucking explode.
Khan's
I feel like this could all be smoothed over with an apology. Like, I didn't know, man. Can we just have a beer and talk about this? I'm really sorry.
The most prideful people in the galaxy.
Exactly.
Duking it out in a fucking nebula.
I also remember I was watching Khan on television 1,000 years ago with an ex-girlfriend, and like, she was like, "This is Star Trek?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "The one with the stupid rocks and like the painted faces and stuff." I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "All those people are strung up all over." And I was like, "Yeah, this dude's a terrorist."
Yeah,
like,
Khan is a problem.
Like, I feel like that movie is like to mix, you know, the stars, but like, that's the empire of this, all of this, because like, that's where darkness comes
100%.
in. Like, that's where, like, for the very first time, you can look at what dark things will come from the entire franchise, because he strung up everybody on Regular One.
Yeah.
They would just kill them, man. He hung them from the rafters.
And they found him. They found them because blood was dripping.
Yeah.
Because
They
blood
looked up.
dripping.
Like,
They were chasing Empire on this. There's no question they were chasing Empire
for sure.
on
They
this.
thought about that before.
they nailed it.
All right, I will take my second pick. While all of you were gushing over Khan, I was busy at work over here. I'm going to take my science officer / engineer off the board before any of you fucks can get at him. I'm going to take the Funk Doctor himself. Funk Doctor Spock is all mine.
TOS or Kelvin?
TOS Spock. Thank you again, Pete.
I'm on top of that shit.
Although,
That might
Kelvin
be the
Spock
one
is
of
not
the
a bad choice.
That, I was
Kelvin
gonna say, that
Spock
might
is
be
good.
one of the only ones that comes into play here.
I don't think so.
I got some
think
Kelvin.
Kirk-
I got
Kirk
some
might.
Kelvin picks on.
I have some Kelvin picks as well. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. I mean, Spock, man, come on. Nimoy went from being like, I don't want to do this shit anymore, to being like the flag bearer of Star Trek for the
He
longest.
just needed to take a break, record a song about Bilbo Baggins. Then he was back in the saddle.
Get Shatner out of his eyesight for a couple of years, and he was back out.
That's all it took.
That's all it took. That's all it took. The dude, and I complain about it a lot, but if there is no Spock, Star Trek doesn't make it out of season 2 because he saves them every other episode. There's an episode where like a bright flash happens and everybody's knocked out and stunned, and he's like, "Bet you didn't know I had a second set of
eyelids."
I was like, "What the shit am I watching right now? Come on, writers, do something better than this." But he just kept saving him and kept saving him, kept saving him, and then you get to the motion picture. And then somewhere about hour 37 in that movie, when Spock shows up to the bridge, and you're like, "Oh shit, it's on, man! The whole crew's together." And he's just
hour 37.
Yeah, because that movie's fucking long and slow. And then Spock's there, but he's not quite the same as Spock. And you're like, man, this shit's kind of bullshit. Spock ain't Spocking up like Spock usually does, but. By the end of the movie,
he gets there. He gets there.
It takes him a while because he's all Culinard out and whatnot. But is it Culinard? Yeah, all Culinard out.
Yeah. He's got to get out there. He's got to do that spacewalk.
Mm-hmm. He's got to find himself again.
He's got to go on that Pink Floyd, go to those Pink Floyd shows.
Wearing a
Pink Floyd in his generator.
Yeah. Maybe they had done the soundtrack to a motion picture. It would have been a little bit better movie.
There was a,
what do you guys think about Spock?
A copy of Dark Side of the Moon on V'ger. That's what it was.
That was the one inside.
The gold record inside V'ger was just Dark Side of the Moon.
That explains so much about how V'ger got to that point.
We need to know who recorded this.
Sync it up, guys. See what happens.
Probably works. What's your thoughts on Spock there, sir?
All right, so he's not my favorite because I'm an emotional wild man, and he's not.
Okay.
He's not.
Technically, he is.
I know. I get it. Fine. Like he's holding it. Yeah, fine. It's not. I don't do that. So
Clearly.
Yeah, he's not my favorite. But I did like it when he was partying with whales. So that was really fun.
All right.
They are not the hell your whales.
Yeah, that
little fish out of water Spock.
The fish out of water Spock was fun. Like
I love the Italian. Like the argument where they're like, "Do you want Italian? No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes.
Yeah.
I love Italian, and so do you. Yes.
And so do I. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Spock there, bro?
Oh, it's a toss-up between Amok Time, which is the one where he has to battle Kirk to the death, right?
Yeah.
Amok Time Spock is so great because it opens, and you're saying like he's a cold, emotionless guy. It opens with him throwing a plate of food out of a door, and I'm like, I get him.
All right.
Nurse Chapel takes him some food. He immediately throws it out the door and just screams at her from the other room. And everybody's like, shit, we got to get him back to Vulcan. This horn dog needs to go back to Vulcan.
I understand
Stat.
it. I understand it.
And the episode of Futurama that brought back the entire original cast.
You're right. Are they all floating heads or are they?
They're all heads.
Yeah.
It was like they were all captured by a amorphous blob like glowing creature in space.
Other episode of
that
Futurama.
wanted to film a Star Trek fanfic.
That's right. It's the Galaxy Quest Futurama.
He got all of them back, and Spock's dialogue and logical captain and Morbo needs help, and it's just all like so terribly written because this just blob wrote the script. They're like, oh god, none of it has any punch.
What about you, Pete?
I'm bad with the names of the original series because I gravitated more towards the films and the Next Generation stuff. But there was a moment in the original series where Spock is making out with a girl. And Captain Kirk calls him, and he says, "Yes, Captain. What do you want?" Like, that's so uncharacteristic of Spock. It's like Spock's trying to get his dick wet, and fucking Captain is lighting him up. And "Yes, Captain. What do you want?"
I understand it, man.
I'm just down with the way he said it. Would just it flowed and came out real good.
I remember the episode, and I can't remember whether it was like. There were like something psychic was happening, and the whole crew was kind of
was that the same episode as Naked Sulu with the sword?
Naked Time?
I don't think it was Naked Time. But to be fair, we just described the plot of 5 episodes of the original series.
All right, Mark, it is back over to you, sir, with your second pick. What position are you going with here,
Captain Sisko.
Yes.
Wow.
I got to do it.
That guy.
Personally, like,
Sisko.
It was always Sisko for me. He's always my number one captain. I love Picard. I love Kirk. Sisko, to me, is the balance between the two. Like, I feel like you get just enough of the cowboy wild card, like, do what I need to do, as much as the, like, by the book, principled, intelligent, analytical Picard mixed in with, like, he's like a holy man. Like, just all kind of, like, brought together. And
he loves baseball.
And his kid and like
and his kid in that order.
And his kid in that order. But I also I always respected him because of the nature of DS9 and I'm playing my hand here because I love DS9 the most. But of all the captains, like, he's the one whose problems sat in his backyard every fucking day.
Oh god, yeah.
Like everybody else was like solved it, bye, and just would leave, like whoop 6 and just gone. And like Sisko's like, them again, son of a bitch. Okay, fine. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, fine. Let's do it. Like, I respect him. I love that I think he's more human and more relatable. And at the same time, like, has a stellar performance record. He's one of the very few principal characters to actually get promoted to captain, like, in the course of the show.
All right.
Without, like, a death on board. And so, like, I love Cisco. Like,
Yeah.
I think he's intense.
He's great.
Solid pick.
Yeah, he's awesome. It's like nobody in Starfleet envies any minute of his life.
No.
You know,
no one's like, I want to be like that guy.
His origin is tied to Wolf 359.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up on this space station that nobody wanted to serve on.
Derelict.
You know?
Like,
it's like this junk space station that's a relic from like a war.
Yep.
You know, it's like nobody wants this job.
Yep.
And like he showed up and just like delivered, man. I love Cisco.
Yep.
He's great.
DS9 is my weakest spot. So for the way things work in the military, when you move from base to base, if you have a security clearance, sometimes it takes a little while to transfer from base to base. So when you get to your new base, you got a little bit of downtime. In my case, when I went back to Korea for the second time, I had like 2 weeks of downtime, and it's just like they're just like, you can't do your job because you don't have your clearance yet. So just kind of hang out and don't get into trouble is what you do like your first 2 weeks there. And I was like, you know what, man? I bet you the bootleg Korean guys got Deep Space Nine. I've been meaning to check that out.
Man, the
So
bootleg Korean version of Deep Space Nine is going to be some shit.
So I watched because I had just nothing to do. Like 3 seasons of Deep Space Nine
man,
in
you
about a
just
week and a
started,
half.
though.
About a week and a half. But those are like 20 some odd episode
it's too much.
seasons. And I just got overloaded.
So
I was
here's-
like, I don't want to see their faces ever again.
The challenge is
And I
the
never went
first
back.
2 seasons are some of the weakest Trek in existence.
Yes.
And
wait.
then-
Enterprise still exists. Sir.
And half of Voyager. But after season 3, right when you started getting tired of it, is when the serial aspect of it really began. And like that was where they jumped ship from literally running away from all their problems to having a consistent narrative. Like and now, I mean, Discovery is a consistent narrative at all times. Like they don't do
Serialized.
like they don't do Monster of the Week anymore. That show was the demonstration of that. And I remember when it was first on, I couldn't get into it because if I missed one episode, I was clueless. I had
fucked.
no idea what was happening. And so I didn't watch it until like I was in my 20s. And I was like, this is what I want.
All right.
Pick it back up in season 3. Like, go ahead and just don't even. You already know who the principal characters are. Don't even worry about.
It has the lowest lows, but it has the highest
It's the
highs.
highest highs.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. And then I will give it another chance. You got anything to say about Cisco before we move on?
Oh, I think Cisco is it.
All right, sounds good. Brian, your next pick.
You, man. Cisco, no, I have the utmost respect for Cisco in his position, and it's exactly for the reason that you said, is because his problems are
position
in
on
his backyard.
thongs. Sorry, had to go there.
What? No, his
Dumps like a truck. What?
guy's like, what? What?
Oh, stop.
But no, his problems are in his backyard. He cannot get away from them. When he's got an issue, he either has to solve it or it sits there and simmers. Like it has to be dealt with. It's not a warp core he can just eject. It's not a saucer section he can separate from.
Right on.
You know, he has to handle it, and he does. And for that reason, he has the respect of his crew. And
fair enough.
that's in
And
my
merchants and citizens.
and all
like,
the people,
people.
Yeah.
Like
he, I mean, I feel like in a position like that, it's important to have the respect of your crew first, because then that can filter down into the other people, which actually factors into my captain pick. We'll get there when it's time. But
I don't like that one.
but it's the idea that when a leader can inspire loyalty, not demand it, but inspire it. I think Cisco does that, and he does it with a thundering velvet hand, as Dan
God,
Fullerberg
his
says.
voice is silk chocolate
right?
velvet.
Yeah.
All right, Brian,
It's like eating a
on
truffle.
It's on you, sir.
Galactic
We already had to
truffle.
pick this up.
Sexy galactic truffle. I'm going to go ahead and pick my villain,
Okay.
Nice.
and it will obviously be the Borg.
Yeah.
The Borg are like the thing I like the most about the Borg, especially early on, is that they are sort of the antithesis of everything Star Trek represents, where it's like Starfleet is all about exploration and embracing the new
supposed to
and
be.
discovery, and the Borg is like, let's just make everything like, it's like Apple. right? It's like everything uses this one plug, and you can't get it anywhere but here. So
All right then.
The Borg, man, they're a galactic steamroller. That's all they are. They just and they're not based on like hatred or vengeance. They're based on efficiency. They just want everything to run as efficiently as possible.
You like
and
them
as
a little
ugly as
too
possible.
much, though, right?
Yeah, and one other thing I'll say about the Borg, because I do love them, is that their ships are the most efficiently designed starships in science fiction.
True. Just
Because
giant cube,
there's no
no
fucking wind.
aerodynamics.
There's no wind resistance in space.
Yep.
You just fucking fly a goddamn block through space.
With nanites that self-repair it at all times.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's wonderful.
Yep.
Wonderful technology. Anyway, fuck them, but they're my that's my pick for villain.
It is your pick. Is it all? Or also your favorite Star Trek villain of all time? I know how much you love Harry Mudd.
I mean, yeah, Harry Mudd is pretty great, especially Discovery. Now that he's back on Discovery, he came back for season 1 and was played by Dwight
Rainn
Schrute.
Wilson.
Yeah,
Dwight
Rainn
Schrute.
Wilson.
Yeah,
It's
Rainn
like
Wilson, that's right.
great stuff. But yeah, I would say Khan is probably the best of the villains, but the Borg is just
They're up there.
they're prolific and unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know?
All right, right on. Pete, you got anything to say about the Borg?
Oh, resistance is useless.
Or
I'm sorry, futile.
Ooh.
I went Vogon. I went the other way. I'm sorry.
All right, we got to keep this bad boy on and rolling.
Yeah.
Pete,
I'm on it.
you.
So I got double pick.
You
right?
were double picking,
I'm just gonna do. I know we're pressed for time, so I'm gonna dovetail them together. We're gonna get security officer and medical off the list right now.
Okay.
Because I don't think y'all are gonna get my captain, so I don't care. So we're gonna do security officer first. What is the best thing about a security officer? I would think would be the ability to try to be everywhere and get in and out of spaces really quickly.
So Odo.
No.
Odo.
Damn it!
I had Odo too.
I had Odo too.
Odo.
This is my number 2.
Odo.
He's my number 2.
Damn it.
Odo is the mega pick.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because I mean, he's a shapeshifter. He can gain anyone's trust and then stab him in the back and be like, "You just been made, bitch," and haul him off to the fucking.
I remember that episode. He said that.
Yeah.
That's season 2.
But he's no nonsense. Very, and of course,
Terse.
his connection to the founder makes him a valuable ally when the Dominion War happens.
Yep.
He's just an all around great pick. He's tough. He's smart. He's a changeling. He can turn into water and slip underneath doors and shit. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
Odo's my guy.
Yep.
Right on.
Odo's gonna clean up my ship. And if he's not going to clean up my ship with his fists, he'll clean up my ship with him being water.
What you got to say on Odo?
I was
I'm just going to ignore
curious.
that.
I was waiting for like a weird blue light lovemaking scene between him and Nana Visitor, and it never really manifested.
I have been on a panel with Nana Visitor.
Really? That's
And,
cool.
Yeah. That was. Did
you ask her about that?
No, I didn't. But she asked me why all young men like to wear hats with flat brims after it was all said and done.
okay,
And I was
yeah.
like, that's got nothing to do with Star Trek, Ms. Visitor, but I'll answer your question.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was a surreal.
No,
surreal
Odo is a
fucking panel.
rock solid pick, and he was my number 1, and I was hoping that people would.
I
just
mean,
kinda
there was,
skirt it.
again, for the security officer, like I have a ton of
Sure.
hot picks, but Odo tops the list.
Yep.
Okay.
The changeling aspect alone is worth more than a batleth, I think.
All right then. And who's on? All
right,
Pete
so-
Fleet Medical.
My medical. I tussled with this for a while, but I think I've weighed all of the options and found the best medical officer
If you say
in
that damn
Dr.
hologram-
Bashir.
Yeah, it is. Damn it! Yeah, it is Bashir.
It's Dr.
Shit.
Bashir. Now, I need to preface this because I feel like I'm really upsetting the sizzle, but
God.
I was not ever the biggest DS9 fan.
That's just what he wanted to hear.
Yep.
However,
You're taking my dreams from me.
the writers did imbue the DS9 cast with the preferred traits of characters that should be on a list like this.
Yes.
So speaking of Dr. Bashir, I mean, genetically enhanced superhuman.
All you have to say.
I mean, it really is. I mean, you get the best of qualities
look at
of
what I wrote
like
genetically enhanced.
if you could take like
That's all you have to say.
if you take like Data and a human doctor and mooshed him together, you'd get Dr. Bashir.
All right.
And I mean, I could take his arrogance if I can guarantee he'll fix any fucking problem I have.
And he does and would.
And he does, and he would. And plus, he's a little handsome.
he's
I'm not gonna lie.
He's
He's
a
a beautiful man.
beautiful
man.
He's
So-
a beautiful man.
Brian,
So,
you got anything
Dr.
on
Bashir.
Bashir?
Other than what's been said about him being beautiful, no. He's a very, very fine doctor, and I think that it's a great pick.
Like
that is
Foyne, right?
absolutely. I mean, Foyne and fine. He's a great doctor, and he also, like we were talking about earlier with DS9, he benefits from DS9 like 4 seasons down the road, right? Like he really turns into a terrific character when all of this genetic modification stuff comes
Yeah.
in, right? Great stuff.
Yep.
Great stuff. All right, then. And speaking of which, Brian, it is on
man.
you, sir. What position are you going with next for your third pick?
Missionary.
Okay. All right, then. Keeping it,
Okay.
keeping it standard.
That is not going to win on the
damn it.
draft.
You know? No, we have a lot of nuns.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. These guys are prudes.
That's Pete's job to berate all the Poprika.
That's right. That's right. There can only be one of those guys on the panel, man.
I'm going to go with my science officer / engineer, and I'm going to pick the man who could single-handedly solve any problem given no resources whatsoever. I mean, he's out there. He's on the frontier. This guy, he's on the frontier. He's probably drunk. He doesn't know what's going on, but he still figures out a way. He says, we can't do it. Kirk says, do it. Scotty says, okay, I'll do it. And he does it. Montgomery Scott is my pick.
Montgomery Scott.
TOS or Kelvin?
TOS.
That's it.
Damn.
I mean, I love Simon Pegg, but like,
Yeah, it's
I
not the
mean,
same.
seriously, Jimmy Doohan
Yeah.
is Scotty.
Yeah.
Love
Well, it'll
Scotty.
take 8 weeks, but we don't have 8 weeks, so I'll do it for you in 2.
The miracle worker himself.
Yeah, only to find out that he is not a miracle worker. He's just,
just
been
a big
hyping
liar.
himself up, which is fucking genius for his like yearly career performance reviews.
I
He
also
knew what he was
love.
doing.
I also love in Star Trek 4. He potentially fucks up history by giving that dude
transparent
the
aluminum,
transparent
right? Yeah.
aluminum.
How do we know he
formula?
didn't invent the thing?
Yeah, right. Like,
Right.
shouldn't you
He's
though?
his own grandfather as well.
But that's it. He was drunk. See, he's clearly drunk in that scene. I love Scotty, man.
Hello,
love
computer.
Scotty.
Hello, computer. Which I've done that at work many times. Like
up the mouse.
logging into my shift for the day. And, hello, computer.
Yeah.
And no one ever gets that reference.
No, that's a shame.
That is a shame for sure.
I love the end of Trouble of Tribbles though, when he beams all the Tribbles over to the Klingon ship because they called the Enterprise a garbage scout.
Yep.
All right.
That's it.
Not
He's,
his-
he's also
not
a
his boat.
petty drunk.
Yes, it's the best kind of drunk, man.
Love
Easily
him.
the best kind of drunk. All right, then it is over to the sizzle.
So he's my pick for drinker.
yeah, it's an 11th
Rock solid
position.
The 11th position. Yeah.
I'm going to go to my away team just to take somebody off the board just in case because I'm nervous about y'all. Michael Burnham for my away
Oh,
team.
fuck
Oh,
you, man.
damn it.
Yeah, I did it.
Damn it, you did it.
Yeah, I did
didn't-
it.
I thought that was going to
Yeah.
be safe.
Nope.
I thought that was a safe
Was
pick.
not safe. Michael Burnham is
Yeah.
Deus Ex Machina walking.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
And
For
if
sure.
you need an answer and maybe a little bit of emo tears, she will solve the problem every single time. Michael Burnham on the away team means that every away team mission will be at least, at minimum, a partial success.
See,
For sure.
here's the this is a
Solid.
double-sided blade, I feel like.
Okay?
Your draft choice is very solid. The number of Poprikans that have CBS All Access
Fair?
is not the highest.
You know
I
what?
think.
I'm willing to have the debate in this room with y'all, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
We'll see
no,
what
I,
happens.
I think it's a great because that
kind of
was
shit happens to me and
That's
Poprika
fine.
fucking all the time.
But you know
I make
what?
a
That was a
solid
pick.
pick and
I
they go,
will
that's
walk
dumb.
out of this room feeling like I was right in my decision.
Yeah, there's someone I wanted to put on as my engineer, and I was like, no one watches Discovery, so they're not going to vote for this character. So I did not put
Hey,
that.
has anybody watched Lower Decks? I might need to change my.
I love Lower Decks.
I fucking love Lower Decks,
So
dude.
good.
It's pretty great.
It's so good. Yeah, Michael Burnham for the away team.
All right, then. What is your favorite thing about Burnham? The fact that she started the whole Federation Klingon War.
Actually, man, I actually as
It's
a
low key
character-
her responsibility.
I know it
right
is.
there.
Yeah,
High key,
100%.
her
Yeah,
responsibility.
high key. She's actually genuinely not my favorite character. Like just because of how emo they write her. Like she's so emo all the time. It's
But
amusing.
also, she's just a damn good actress. so
she's
it's like,
she's
you
selling it.
Let her bite
She
into
is
it.
selling it, and no, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like I really wish they would write a little bit of levity in that character.
enough.
That said,
Yes. Totally.
like just you know, everybody around her is so cool, but when she walks in the room and she solves a problem, I also am willing to have her on the away team because as a red shirt, if she bites it and the show carries on and the writers have to figure out some like fun episodes to make, that's okay too.
You say she's not your favorite character. Who is your favorite character on Discovery, or is that maybe tipping your hand?
Saru.
Saru. All right, right on.
Oh yeah,
Right on.
absolutely.
Saru's fantastic.
Saru is awesome.
Saru is excellent.
Saru's fucking awesome.
Saru is fantastic.
But there's a lot of really good characters on that show,
agree.
and I don't think I really appreciated a lot of them till season 3.
Yeah. Okay. So I've not gotten to season 3 yet. I need to.
It
Oh
gives
my
them
God.
a lot
I
of
know, I know.
breathing room.
Yeah,
But
I'm like 4 or 5 in.
As
right
a
now.
quick aside, I do think that Discovery has the best alternate dimension work that any series
Oh,
has
yeah.
ever
Yeah,
done.
absolutely.
Most of the time, like especially DS9, you can straight up actually skip those episodes if you're watching it. If they go to an
Yeah.
alternate dimension and everyone's got goatees, you can actually physically skip it because it will not matter.
No, I refuse.
Those
I
episodes
refuse.
matter. Those episodes matter.
Oh, yeah.
And I love it.
Lorca, Lorca.
Yeah, right?
Lorca,
Lorca.
is, man, that's my
Lorca.
favorite Jason Isaacs work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's so badass.
All right, right on. The mirror universe is one of my favorite things about Star Trek. So
So
it
you're
will never
pick
be
for,
skipped.
Pick for villain. The
Terran
whole
Terran
Terran
Empire.
universe.
Terran Empire.
That's actually not a bad idea.
No, it's
All
not.
right, it is over to me now. I think I'm going to go ahead and get my captain just in case it is Pete's pick. Make sure I snake that from under him. I'm going to go with Captain James T. Kirk,
Yeah.
the Chris Pine.
Oh, Kelvin.
Yes.
Kelvin timeline.
Going
All
with
right.
Kelvin
That's
Kirk.
a bold choice. I
People
don't
loved him
disagree with
some
it at
Chris
all.
Pine. People
I don't
loved
disagree
some
with it at
Chris
all.
Pine.
I love Chris Pine's Kirk because I love it because he's not trying to ape William Shatner.
No, in fact, well, the whole idea behind him is that he is 100% not William Shatner's because he didn't have his dad in his life, so he's a totally different.
So
person.
his dad is the one who taught him to emote.
For sure.
Like,
yeah, his dad taught him to act like that.
There's one scene where he is very obviously doing a Shatner impersonation on the Kobayashi Maru.
yeah, when he shoots at the screen and he's
Yeah.
eating that apple.
Yeah, so that I think is his
And he
homage.
speeds through like most of the dialogue
Yes,
there.
that
Yeah,
right there, that
I love
particular
it.
is
Love that moment.
Begin rescue of the stranded passengers. Blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
right, like-
yeah, his Kirk is less renegade roguish, I would say, than James T.
That's
but
a
it's
fit.
close.
Well, I mean, they
He's
start off
close.
selling it like he's gonna be even more.
Yeah, but he learns responsibility fairly quick.
Also a good point.
I think the best Kelvin Kirk moment is the beginning of Star Trek Into Darkness and him saving Spock from out of the volcano. First of all, that's just a great sequence.
Yeah.
And I think that that does a good job of establishing the relationship between that Kirk and that Spock, and then Spock turning in that report is also a very Spock thing to do, I think. And then having them at odds at the beginning of the movie is something you don't really quite see in Star Trek. And I thought that was an interesting new angle, and I can see why old heads hate it. What's your thoughts on Pine Kirk there, Mark?
Actually, yeah, that's one of my favorite from that universe is Chris Pine's performance. I thought he was fantastic. I think he sold the charisma. I think he did just enough of the renegade, the cowboy. I think that like if you're going to transition it into more of an action movie, like he's a great leading man for the position. He's not as hammy as William Shatner, which is not a bad thing, but for the sake of the movies, it's not. I don't have any standout moments. I just think he's a really solid pick.
Solid pick. Pete, I did not pick your captain because you did not respond.
No,
you did
you
not
didn't.
react.
No,
But
you
what are your
didn't.
thoughts on old Kirk? Kelvin Kirk.
I love now, my thoughts on the rest of that film franchise notwithstanding, because Into Darkness is butt and so is
I
Beyond.
would like to point out that. Oh man, really?
Oh
Beyond?
yeah, I don't like it at all.
It's
I don't like
fun.
it at all.
It's fun.
I think Beyond's fun.
It's fun in the.
but Star Trek's supposed to not be fun. No, I mean,
I
you're not
want
wrong.
medium fun.
You're not wrong. No, I think your problem with
Star
the
Trek's
Kelvin
supposed to have
timeline-
levity,
Yeah.
but Star Trek to me has never been an action film.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And fucking
Yeah,
Star
yeah.
Trek Beyond is 100% Justin Lin by the numbers action shit.
It's Fast and the Furious meets
100 fucking percent, dude. Dirt bikes and Beastie Boys. Come on.
Hey, I was going to mention that the best thing about Pines Kirk is that he's a Beastie Boys fan.
Well,
the best thing
that is
about
also
it.
true. That
and
is also
then
true.
in Beyond, they use it as an offensive weapon, kind of like Min May from Robotech, which I think is great.
My man with the Robotech
My shit has been invoked, sir. Yes.
Listen, I will never.
I'm going to go on record as
not.
fuck Min May, by the way.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Oh,
like
I'm
that.
Team Hayes all the way,
Team
bro.
Hayes,
Oh,
definitely.
Team Hayes
Lisa
all the way. Fuck Min May.
All night long, Lisa Hayes.
Min May is a little fucking self-centered, narcissistic bitch that fucks her cousin. Fuck that shit.
All right, then there you have it here. You heard it here first.
Hayes is a damaged older woman.
Yeah, Hayes has her
That's
shit
the best
together.
kind.
Slip right in there.
Slip right in there.
Good night, everybody.
I will never not have Matthew McConaughey in my head as Roy Fokker for
Oh, for
all
sure.
of my days.
Oh,
Matthew
for
McConaughey.
sure.
Yeah, 'cause
dude.
you
Can
know
imagine?
Roy was just stoned out of his mind when he got shot up that one time.
Right? Oh, fuck yeah.
All right, let's keep
All
this
right,
moving.
anyway, we'll do the
all right.
Robotech draft next time.
Oh, God,
It's
please. Can
back.
we? Please? Let's do a Robotech draft.
Lancer is
God.
my first pick.
Back over to you, Mark.
Max Sterling,
No,
motherfucker.
Yeah, that was my pick. Back over to you. Mark.
Okay.
Wait, did I pick something?
No, it's
Or
Mark.
who
then
picked?
it's you.
Oh God, you picked Kirk.
I picked Kirk.
That took a long time, guys. Let's keep
So,
going.
Keep it moving.
real fast. I'm going to do away team 2.
What the fuck is this guy doing?
God
over
damn
here?
it!
Yeah,
Stop.
I'm doing away team 2.
I don't think I like this at all.
Riker.
Slow it the fuck
Oh!
down.
Yeah, fucking Riker.
That's
No,
my whole away team you
You're
just
welcome.
decimated there.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Will Riker. If DS9 is getting
Touche.
taken from me,
Touche.
then yeah, I'm going to do
Oh,
my away
man.
team.
He was
No,
my
that's
number one
choice for away.
Because he is charisma based. He can bang his way through anything.
Charisma-based.
He can talk his way through anything, and he's not a stranger to a blaster.
Look,
he
that
will
was,
make it happen.
That was the thing. On my set said Rick Riker, every away team needs a boner.
That's right.
Someone who will bone your way through
Yes.
it, and Riker is that dude.
Appreciate him. Will Riker is my all-time. Like I tried to become, as I grew up, a combination of Nathan Fillion and Will Riker.
That is a lofty goal,
I
sir, and I
And
applaud.
I'm like,
I
it's
applaud your
70
tenacity.
I'm at 78%, but with better hair than both.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Oh God.
Yeah, Riker
Yeah.
was that. It was so nice seeing him pop up for what the 2 episodes he's in Picard.
He was so good in Picard.
Oh, yeah, he was.
He was
I mean,
so
and the
good
thing,
in Picard.
he can make pizza.
Yes.
He has a brick
He's got a
oven.
brick Of course he does.
Make some pizza, Riker.
And listen, he banged his way across an entire quadrant and still locked down Deanna Troy. That's
Yeah,
the
he
way
did.
to
He
do it.
locked down the original
That's
bitch.
what you do. That's what you do. He's like, I've
like-
already seen you naked, so I'm going to go see all the rest of them naked, and then I'll come back. And then
I
it'll
need
be
some
great.
time
It'll be a great
to work
time.
things
Yeah,
out.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, you
It'll
gotta
be fine.
so your royal oats.
He got all the side aliens
Also-
and the Imzadi.
I don't care what the vote comes back as. That is the number one away team that I just
It
remember.
is.
All right, fair enough. That is
The vote
fair
will
enough.
agree with that,
Yep.
I think. I mean,
Oh man, Sizzle Chest is coming out hard in
son
his
of
first
a
draft.
bitch. Well, I mean, like, I'm at the point now where I'm just going to jettison my ideas for most of these and just go for like things that nobody's picking right
All right,
now.
Brian, it's on you, sir.
Are we waiting on anything? Like, can I just pick anything I want in any order?
You know how these go.
I am picking for my ship the NCC 1701 from the Kelvin universe.
Wow.
Oh, the Kelvin. That's a pretty fucking.
That
ship.
is a pretty ship. It is clean. It feels very,
Apple
very
Store.
claustrophobic. Like I love the engineering section on the Kelvin Enterprise.
brewery?
Yeah, it's a brewery. It's everything is so enclosed and tight, and it doesn't feel like there's a lot of wiggle room except on the bridge. That is an actual pleasant bridge to be on. I think it's like a really nice bridge. I love
Everything's so
the
shiny
design
on
work
that
on that Kelvin Enterprise, man.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
mean,
beautiful ship.
and that is not a joke. The Enterprise is a brewery that they filmed in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's lens flare everywhere, so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Keep
Listen,
your eyes
you
open.
have got the sunglasses on.
Wear your
Cinema-
sunglasses.
That's why
on
everybody
that
wants to
movie.
be on the Enterprise, because you will always look your best on that ship.
Everyone's chiseled jaw. The women have chiseled jaws on that ship.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that is a damn good call, sir. That is a good Enterprise. All right, Pete. It's
All
double
right.
choices for you, sir.
Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do
I
is
didn't even
get,
have that on my list as a possibility for Enterprise.
because we were talking about about captains,
Uh-huh.
and you were so sure you took mine.
I know who yours is. Can I predict who yours is?
Predict who mine is.
Hikaru Sulu.
No, but that's
Interesting.
I should have
bad.
put
You
that.
both
That's a
said
really
it.
good.
I thought it.
Same
Yep.
time.
That's where
really
I thought we
good.
were going. That's where I
No,
thought we were going.
this might be a little surprising, but I'm actually going to pick Christopher Pike from the Discovery timeline.
Yes,
that's a solid fucking
I
choice.
think,
Yeah.
So I have a couple rationales for this. First of all, he is, to me, Anson Mount. First of all, I love that actor. I think he's got such an imposing yet soft presence on screen. He can act just with a couple twitches of his face. He can do either one. He can do imposing or he can do affable, And not only that, I think he embodies a lot of the best traits of several Starfleet captains.
Okay.
He's got classy. He's got an aesthetic, in his ready room and everything. He's got the willingness to do what needs to be done, but he's also very familiar with Starfleet regulations. Jesus, that was hard to say. So he's
Kirk
he can
always
be
found
both,
that very hard to say too.
I know, right? Like all the time. I eventually did say it.
Why would I do it if I can't even say it?
But
and he trusts his crew.
He not only does he trust his crew to make the right decision, but his entire crew has respect for him, whether they're getting accoladed or yelled at. And he gets the honor of he gets to be the captain that mapped the mycelial network, dude.
Yeah.
He gets to captain a ship that gets to travel a network that nobody else did. He gets to help map it and gave his engineering team the wherewithal or the freedom to do it while they were doing other shit. And it just, he delegates to his crew and then lets them do their thing. He trusts their judgment. And I feel like that again, we talked about this is the best qualities of a leader. And I don't think that's going to earn me any points in Poprika for the exact reasons that you said. But I think Christopher Pike is easily one of the top picks. I picked him over fucking James T. Kirk. I was like, if I put them two together, Anson Mount's winning that chess game.
This is like this is where it fell for me because I'm like, do I try to get votes or do I try to go with the captain that I would absolutely follow? And Pike is that guy.
I would 100%.
Pike is the guy
for sure.
who I would absolutely follow this guy.
Because I would go back and
unifies
question
the Discovery crew. Like I mean,
for sure.
he does
And
some
they had
pretty
a lot
amazing
of
work.
stuff going on to unify.
When I heard about the announcement of the Pike spinoff before I started watching season 2, and I'm like, they're giving Pike and now season 2, I'm like, oh, I can't wait.
I want a Pike show,
and you're like, I want to see
I want
as
a
much
Pike
of this guy
show.
as possible. Feed it all to me.
The best.
He was my favorite thing about season 2.
Yes,
like
agreed.
season 2 had an
Agreed.
excellent arc, and say what you will about timey-wimey shit or whatever, but
They do that.
They do that. That
Yeah.
is a Star Trek thing.
It's a Star Trek thing.
But like beyond that, like Pike is just a fucking great character, and that is now that we've seen Pike in 3 different iterations, he is. I would go so first to say is the best Pike.
He is canon Pike.
He's canon Pike for me.
That's a good
Sure.
statement. I dig that. Yeah.
I think the best of that season is I think one of the last times you see him. He's transporting back to a ship, and Giorgio's like, "Oh, just by the way, I'm from an alternate universe." And he goes, "What alternate universe?" And winks just as he's transporting out. I'm like, they fucking nailed this dude.
Oh yeah,
He is
he's
so
great,
good.
so
All right,
good.
sir.
So
next
good.
pick.
Oh yeah, next pick. Okay, so next one up. I feel like it's going to get around, and they're going to be missing. So I'm going to pick my villains are the Romulan Empire.
Nice.
Romulan.
Rock solid.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, rock solid.
Hell yes.
I thought about because I weighed like, whoa, you can pick individuals or you can pick a unified empire that pretty much acts as one entity.
Yes.
And and plus I feel like I stole way too much off of Sizzle's plate. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be like, oh, Dominion, go to God.
I'm
like,
gonna
okay,
keep my villain out
all
of
right.
there, as surprisingly.
So,
Okay.
but I think the Romulans overall make. I think Romulans and the Dominion are like neck and neck for baddest villains in the Star Trek universe. I mean, the Borg,
balance of terror.
the Borg are very, very scary, but the Borg are easily figured out. You know what I mean? Like they're machinations. They're not. They wear their hearts on their sleeves. Essentially,
They really only have one plan.
Right.
It's just overcoming that plan. That's the
Exactly.
hard. They're like the New England Patriots. It's like once you got rid of Tom Brady,
football team,
we're
Mark.
good. We're good once Tom Brady's
the
score the home
Romulans.
runs.
The Romulans are more like like House Harkonnen or something. They got plans within plans. And
Yeah,
they're like
some schemey
They're like
bastards.
scheming and trying to figure shit
And
out.
they have been like that
you
from
know.
the beginning beginning. Like that's like the very first time you
They've
see
been consistent.
Balance of Terror is one
yeah.
of the top 5 episodes of the original series. It
They're
is so fucking great.
Yep.
And the Romulans, one of the reasons I like Picard so much is that it did so much with the Romulans.
God, the treachery, the spy network, like all of that was
Yeah.
so good.
I absolutely loved that it was the first time we had seen the Romulans post Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
Right? Like post the destruction that Spock tried to prevent and failed. Great stuff. Yeah,
great
love
stuff.
it.
Yeah, and but actually, you hit the nail on the head with the spy network. When I saw that in Picard, I didn't go, "Ooh, new stuff." I went, "Yep."
Yeah, of course.
It was like,
they
of
do.
course they have that.
Of course they do.
You know what I mean? Because
definitely-
they are
shady.
They are the guys that would have that.
Assassins, of course they do. Yeah.
There's just none of those shady secret things
No.
would ever be a secret. You could tell me that the Romulans did that. I'd be like, "Yep."
Yeah, they did. The Romulans killed Kennedy. I don't know if you
You
guys
know,
heard that.
you know what the
they did.
Romulans won't do though? Tell you their fucking plan. And that's why they win.
Brian.
That's why they're the guy.
It's on you, sir.
Oh, God damn it.
You guys are drafting some strong ass lists here.
All right.
Let's keep this moving.
I'm going to wait on that. I am going
That
to...
said with conviction.
I'm going to wait on that, too.
Shit.
You know,
You're doing good.
I better start
Shut up.
drafting. I got to start drafting away team people quick because that well is running fucking dry as shit.
Real dry,
now.
real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to draft Kira Nerys for my away team.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
She's a very tough woman, and she's been hardened by a lot of
Major character.
battle.
An occupation.
Yeah, yeah. She's come through it and proven herself to be a formidable leader. And she falls into the same category, I would say, Pike does, in that she is like a Star Trek leader that I would absolutely follow and trust my life to.
Yes, I agree.
I think she's great.
And
I
she
really
holds
didn't
her own.
And I really didn't appreciate the character until I came back to DS9 like years later. Like my first watch through, I'm like, yeah, but Jadzia is over here, and
Yeah,
she's the only woman I can pay attention to right now.
She's
So
very distracting.
yeah,
Calm
girl.
down, sir.
I want those spots. I want babies.
We
with
have
those,
two
I want-
Brians on this show.
I want babies with those spots.
Do you think your Trill would mind if I enjoy your
Yeah,
Yeah,
you maybe
and a
tune
leader-
out for a second?
Good leader in her own right.
yeah. So Major Kira.
No, that's not a
Dig it.
bad pick at all.
That's a good pick.
I
Rock
dig
solid.
that. Sizzle.
Okay.
You have a
Well,
security
so I
officer,
know
medical.
that the villain, everybody but me has picked villain, so I don't need to pick villain. I can sit on that.
True.
I can wait.
True.
I'm
Smart man with tactics.
I don't do the sports balls, but I do a lot of game theory. So I'm going to start with, because ship has been taken once.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and claim the entire Curiosity class.
Okay.
Because it was said that villains can be singular or racial, and then like I'm doing an entire class of ships. Curiosity class is the shit.
So if I had just claimed like Galaxy class, you guys would be out of luck on the Enterprise D. You'd be out of luck on the 3 nacelle Enterprise D.
If that's the way, I'm definitely going to start off with the most advanced that we've seen thus far on any of the shows and movies. The beefiest, the one that they apparently made a giant fleet of that Will Riker gets to play with. Like
Was that in a Nemesis?
that
was
in
Picard, yeah.
Picard. Okay.
Picard. So
It's a hell of a ship.
yeah, it is, and they have like 50 of them, and they are monsters. Like they are bigger than Sovereign class and Galaxy class. They have more weapons arrays. But they are big enough to do Sovereign and Galaxy class stuff. And also, it's basically like if the United States Air Force, like, or the aircraft carriers just like landed somewhere. It's like, we could do railguns, also jets. Also cannons. Yeah, we've got a couple thousand people on here. Yeah, we got some Marines. Yeah, we got everything. We have everything on this boat. Don't mess with this boat. That's my boat.
All right then. Curiosity ships. Pete, where are you on ships? It's not your pick, but are you like, I can hold off on ships, or is it in the middle?
I think I'm okay on ships.
You're on ships?
I think I'm okay.
Interesting, Pete.
It would not be a draft without a Brian.
I'm picking the Galileo shuttlecraft. You know, the one that broke down on that planet that one time.
Okay.
No, I'm picking the one. I'm doing the one from the motion picture, so I can get that fancy warp sled.
Oh yeah, ooh, nice.
Fancy warp sled,
call.
bitches.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go ahead and I guess get me a fucking away team member since shit.
Well, you can grab 2 if you want them. You got a double pick.
I mean, theoretically, there will be guys out there, indefinitely.
Oh, I've got a number of them just in case y'all were, hankering for an away team. But
I
since
felt
you
good.
weren't,
I felt good about Riker. I don't know.
I felt better about it.
Galactic.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take an away team member. I'm gonna. Am I the first? It appears I am to dip my toes into the Voyager world. I'm going to take Chakotay as an away member.
Oh, I forgot about that guy. Yeah.
Let's
So
hope
did
the
I.
voters don't.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Chakotay.
Chakotay.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to get that Native American.
I got
vote
that. Yeah, I'm
nailed
going to
down.
get the 1% of Poprikans that are Native Americans.
Native American Pacific Islander vote.
Wait. He was native? I'm just joking.
Yeah. Did they not beat that horse hard enough throughout the
Shoved
series?
it down our throats.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they were represented, and also, oh my God.
Yeah. Chakotay's a solid dude.
He
man.
is.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as, kind of like talking about Major Kira, like they can hold their own, a good leader in his own rights. He was doing his thing with his Maquis people. I mean, they weren't in the greatest condition, but, he was holding the shit together.
Yep.
Proven effective. P has no idea what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. As soon as you said my key, I was like, oh, wait. I didn't watch enough Voyager to connect a lot of
I kind of
like.
I watched a couple episodes over the last week or two just to kind of reintegrate myself.
I watched a couple,
How did it
and then the
age?
last one, and was like, I think I understand it now.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's very, very 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great concept for a show.
It is a great concept.
And there's some good characters. There's some characters I couldn't give a fuck less about.
Yeah, I think there was such a weak all around
Cast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Harry
Not a lot
Kim
of-
couldn't.
I was trying to find like a member of that crew to draft that is a draftable member, and I found exactly one.
Same.
I found 2. Oh, actually, I found 3.
Well, I mean, you obviously found one at least.
And then the other ones are. It depends. Iffy. But yeah, Chakotay, that's my dude. Also, I'm going to go ahead and get. Oh no, that's just silly. Go ahead and get my medical, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and get my medical person off the list here. I'm going back over to Kelvin. And I'm going to get my Carl Urban bone.
Very good.
Good pick.
Rock solid.
That is an excellent pick.
Once again, people will be voting for Carl Urban and not for Bones.
Yep.
And I will take, hey, you got to know how
That's
to
true.
work that system, man.
Star Trek, but I really like the boys, so.
And let me just say to all of you who voted, fuck you.
God, I hope you
answer's
win.
wrong.
I hope you win now.
See, Brian, it feels good on this side of the Poprika hate.
Brian
Brian,
turned
Yeah,
heel.
exactly.
He turned heel.
feels good over here.
We need to get Dramon back on. He's a face. Brian's the heel. Yeah, I mean, shit. He of all the people who were these alternate characters, I think Carl Urban embodied his bones the best out of all the other
I
characters.
absolutely agree.
He was the one I was like the shakiest on when I heard the casting. I was
Really?
Like, oh, I did. I was like, wait, the Rohirrim guy is going to be
Guy
the
from,
fucking.
what was that? Was that Viking movie that he was in?
Fuck, what's the name of that movie? Was it the 13th Warrior? Was he in
Was
that?
he in
Or-
that? No, that was
no, that was
Banderas,
Banderas.
wasn't it?
Banderas.
The question
That
is,
was
was Carl Urban in it? Probably. He probably was.
Yeah, but like Carl Urban just seemed like this bigger dude that I wouldn't see playing a character like Bones.
country
And then I
doctor.
saw him and was like, holy shit.
Yeah, the
that's
first-
amazeballs. Like
yeah,
the first
first
time he
scene,
talks,
yeah.
I'm like, is that DeForest? Is he related to DeForest Kelly in some
I think
way?
we just
Like-
underestimated what a fan he was.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that's
see
the
that.
thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Giant nerd
it's kind of
he
like when
is.
you find out like Joe Manganiello likes playing Dungeons and Dragons. It's like
And magic.
And
like
Yeah.
what the fuck just happened here? He's like the
Right.
Daywalker. He's got all of our strengths and none of our weaknesses.
He got the speech pattern down perfectly.
Yeah, he did.
I think.
Yeah, he did.
Just fear of things to fly. I'm like,
Yep.
yeah, that's Bones.
He
right
nailed
there.
it.
That way he talks out of the, he's got
Yeah,
that side of his
that
mouth
side of his
talk,
mouth,
man.
But he wasn't doing it to do it. He just did it, and it was right.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't an impression.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't an impression, but still came off like that's Bones.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it wasn't. He's impersonating DeForest Kelly.
It's great
that's
homage.
Bones.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's really
exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same thing Pine did with Kirk. It's like you just tapped into what this character is and just channeled that character through you, and this is what came out. And it's like, yeah, it's going to be kind of similar to what D. Kelly did because, like, this is the character you're
Right. All right, Mark, it's over to you, sir.
I am going to secure
He's securing the bag.
my security person,
Yeah, go ahead.
Tuvok.
Yep.
Yep, thought so.
Tuvok.
I was bouncing between taking Tuvok or taking Bones.
So, I mean, if you're all are nodding your head, you know, but like he's one of the very few characters off of Voyager that I think is really good.
Solid.
And additionally, as a security chief, like I don't want a Vulcan on my boat as my right hand man because it's just going to annoy me when they're always like clean and cut and logical. But if my security chief is like, this is not good, I'm like, cool. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Also enhanced strength, speed, response, intelligent. Like he's the opposite, bless his heart. Like the Worf effect is a thing because Worf got punched all the time. Tuvok didn't get punched that much. Like I don't want my security chief constantly laid up. Like I want him upright or her.
Worf
fighting.
elected to get punched a lot.
Like it's such a fun read to see like what tropes describes the Worf effect is because he's tough, because he's burly. Like if you lay him out, then you're demonstrating to the audience
He's putting
that
him
this
over,
person
or putting
is
the villain
a threat.
over.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like it's Vegeta in Dragon Ball Z. Like it's all like if you can check the angry, grouchy, strong person, then you're a
this
threat.
villain's respected.
Right, yeah. And Tuvok was always level-headed, and I think that he would be an excellent security chief on my Dreamcast. He is my only Voyager pick.
All right, then. Now, that being said, Brian, we're about to go over to you. Was that the one Voyager pick that you were talking
It was not, but you want to know who was? It's my doctor.
Interesting.
Oh, it's the EMH, huh?
Yeah, the doc.
Is that what you're going with?
The
The
doctor,
EMH?
Doc Zimmerman, is my doctor.
All right.
For my doctor pick, my medical pick. He's a combination of every Starfleet doctor who has ever existed. He's got a wealth of knowledge. He can't fucking follow you around the ship.
Yeah.
Bug you to
Telling you you need to eat healthier, bullshit like that. And
He got a cameo in First
he
Contact.
got the
he did.
funniest
Yeah,
moment.
that was cool. That was cool.
Perhaps an
moment in
analgesic
First
cream?
Contact. Yeah. You need a balm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with
You're going to go with the coach from the Wonder Years. That's
Robert
cool.
Picardo, yeah.
Ricardo, look, man, that dude. I rewatched the first 2 episodes of Voyager, and he fucking brings it.
Oh,
Like,
he's
he's
good.
a solid fucking actor.
He is good.
Yeah, like it had me thinking, like, what other shit has Picardo done that I need to check out?
He's in Gremlins too.
He was the gym coach in Wonder Years
That's
for a
right.
really long time.
And I like the arc that they gave him because didn't they eventually make him tangible and able to step out of sick
Yeah,
bay?
didn't they
Yeah,
body
eventually.
him? Did they body him? Did they
Yeah.
sleeve him or
They
something?
modded him out.
whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I appreciate the altered carbon.
I mean, you have to, right? At some point, it's all the same stuff. It's just whatever
They
the
went from
terminology
Joel
is used.
Kinnaman to Anthony Mackie to Robert Picardo for season 3, I guess. I did not see
I would
Netflix.
watch that season.
the new Takeshi Kovacs. All right.
New Takeshi Kovacs. All right, Pete, it's on you. Sir.
All right, it's time for away team.
All right.
Am I-
Pete announces that it is
Yeah.
time for the away team.
Both my away teams are from the Kelvin universe.
Okay, interesting.
Away team 1, Sulu from the Kelvin.
All
Yeah.
right. John's show.
Yeah, show it. He's a better sword fighter than the TOS Sulu. So
Okay, all
there's that. Plus, hot shot pilot. I'm getting him when he's young. It's good.
Yep.
Yeah, he can give the Enterprise a barrel roll if he
Halo,
needs.
That's right.
He can Halo drop into a fight sequence. That's a big deal.
The Halo dropping in that
Yeah.
cannot be overstated because
Yeah.
You didn't even need. You do not need either a functional transporter or a shuttlecraft to get your away team on site.
That's right.
That's impressive.
You don't need a Tom Cruise either. You got
exactly.
Sulu.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two is I feel really good and solid about this one. Kelvin Uhura.
Oh,
That's a good pick.
I think
yeah.
I think the Zoe Saldana's portrayal of Uhura took Nichelle Nichols' character to another level.
Yes.
She brought not that Nichelle Nichols didn't have this, but
because it was the fan dance.
Exactly,
The
but
fan
her
I know.
Well, she's a product of her time, the fan dance.
We don't talk about the
I
fact.
literally wrote it down.
We don't talk about Star Trek 5.
I'm willing to.
That shit's not canon. I don't give a fuck.
I don't care.
That movie is not canon.
That was a rock solid distraction tactic. I don't care.
No.
That was
And I will say
Mark
this about-
almost shows God as his villain.
What does God need with a starship?
Hey, when you describe Star Trek 5 to somebody, it sounds great.
Yep.
Like when you're just describing the plot,
then you
it's
make
like
a Futurama
'cause
episode.
I did that to one of my friends once, and I was like, "This is what Star Trek 5 is about." And I got to the end, I was like, "Wow, what a great idea for a movie!"
And then all you
I was
gotta tell them is, but
"Let
it's
me
directed by
assure
William
you,
Shatner."
that is not what happened."
Exactly.
So yeah.
No, that movie's bad. So yeah, she, Nichelle Nichols was a product of her time. I mean, they obviously, first interracial kiss on TV and all of those things, but women still largely on television shows at that time weren't allowed to have that much agency. They just weren't. Now, Roddenberry tried to break down doors, obviously, with a lot of the choices, but
And did for the time.
and I think absolutely for the time.
Yeah.
But here you have Zoe Saldana's portrayal is like Uhura's strong as fuck.
Yeah.
Like that girl will jump in and fucking fight and scrap. Fucked Spock. She's got that going for her. And
Yep.
He wasn't throwing any dinners in the Kelvin universe.
and she's hard pressed to be tripped up in xenolinguistics. And I think that's, in terms of being able to communicate to other
knows her
races,
shit.
when your UT's dead, you can do worse than having Uhura. And of the two, I'm going to pick the Kelvin
That
one
scene-
because
I
she
feel
seems
like-
the most capable.
I feel like
That scene
between
in
those
Into Darkness.
two, you have got the second best away team for sure.
Sulu
scene
and
in Into
Uhura, man.
Darkness,
That's
yeah,
second
I think
best.
it's
That's
definitely
only
second
because you
best.
got Riker,
I know.
dude. It's only because you got
I
Riker.
know.
But
That snapped
scene in
Riker
Into
right off the
Darkness
top of my
where
list.
she was talking to the Klingons. Like that was
Yeah.
one of the best scenes of the whole movie.
Not like Star Trek 6 where they got the dictionaries and the translators out trying to do it by hand and with all this broken Klingon.
We is condemning food and supplies.
See, and to me, I love Star Trek 6. That is probably that and 2 are my favorite
That's
of
correct.
the original series.
Yeah, it is.
But that scene always pissed me off. I was
that
like,
scene
you're
is-
supposed to be good at this.
It's a beat played for comedy, and I understand that.
No, I got it too. I mean, I think I laugh at it, but at the same point, I'm like, that's Uhura. She's
She knows her shit.
literally supposed to be better at this than this. If you don't why are you getting the dictionaries out? You fucking know where to look for that shit. I don't know. That just seemed. I get it played for laughs, but that's another reason I'm picking the Kelvin Uhura.
Fair enough.
So there's my
Brian.
away team.
Brian, it is over on you. Let me know what it is so I can go get my beer after this.
Yeah, man. I really want to go get another beer too. But I you know what? I will just keep the Kelvin timeline thing going right now and pick my second away team member, which is going to be Pavel Chekhov.
Nice.
Anton Yelchin from the Kelvin universe.
Kelvin.
People feel bad about Anton Yelchin.
Getting the sympathy vote.
Getting
Frank,
run over by
Talk
an
about it.
Yeah.
idle SUV. But
That is
I mean, I
cool.
feel terrible about Anton Yelchin. But beside that, like Pavel Chekhov in the Kelvin universe was already really awesome.
Yeah.
I love the scene where he kind of runs through the Enterprise in the first in the 2008-9 movie where he's darting through the Enterprise. I know I can do this with the transporter.
Right.
That's some badass Chekhov
He's just a little dude who has a lot of moxie and he wants to show it off at every chance he can
You
get.
sold
It's
me with
not
the use of Moxie. That was
it's not just to show it off either. It's like this kid knows his stuff and he just wants to do what's best for the crew.
That's a sharp contrast to the TOS Chekhov, who primarily was a punching bag.
He was
Yeah.
well. I mean, it was
He was
also
a punching
really
bag
just
for when the plot needed someone to be in
It's
trouble.
like we need a fifth monkey to be on our crew this year. Peter Tork was busy, so we got Walter Koenig.
Right on.
Walter
Good
Koenig
call.
came out better in Babylon 5, I think, than he did in Star Trek.
I think he actually did. Yeah. But yeah, Chekhov.
That is not a bad pull. Sizzle chest. It is over to you. I am all of a sudden not confident in my draft at all.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in on uniform because it's untouched, and I wanted to make sure that I get what I want. And it will be the DS9 uniform. And I don't like
The reverse color, right?
Because essentially it's like
Not
the
even on my
sweater,
list.
like the net gray neutral with the under.
Oh, okay. The later season.
Yeah,
DS9s.
the later seasons because that was also. I don't know if this counts as taking the pick, but that was also late. Next gen
Late next gen.
films.
First Contact and Insurrection.
That costume never hit on the next gen show, but once second or third season when it was adopted as the standard for DS9, it then carried over into the films that were currently going on.
Yep.
That was the cleanest look. It still had the colors to signify like placement, but it wasn't hokey like the old stuff. It wasn't too naval and blue like some of the quote unquote earlier phases like Discovery and Enterprise. I think that it was the smartest look. It wasn't obnoxious. It wasn't aggressive, but it also wasn't like just a jumpsuit as much.
Like I said, the Enterprise's uniform just looks so fucking comfortable.
It does, but it's still like, how do you shit?
I mean, nowadays pilots can answer that question.
I'm saying, like, I get that, but like in that, it's very clear that like the sweater is like a shirt, and then there's pants. So it's like functional clothing as a uniform versus every time I look at every other uniform in the Star Trek universe, I'm like, do you strip buck naked to poop? And I cannot fathom like red alert. And then I have to redress myself.
Okay.
Functionally speaking, it's got to be the DS9.
Captain, I have a red alert. You know what I mean?
It's a brown alert.
They got a brown alert.
Brown alert.
The only one that does not do that is the DS9 suit.
All right. The DS9. Oh, by the way, for all of you all, the listeners will have seen this by now, but there will be visual aids
I
provided
assume that,
for these.
but thank you. Yeah, that'll help.
There will be visual aids for the uniforms and for the ships.
Yep.
And for who are we saying was really sexy? Dr. Bashir. I
Visual aid for Dr. Sheeran.
yeah.
Most of the episodes should just be
for Pete.
just a slideshow of images of Alexander Sedig as Dr. Bashir.
Also, if you do a visual aid for Cisco, it must be with facial hair. It must be with facial hair.
There will be no visual aids for captains. So
He's the only
should
guy from
know,
the
Dan.
Terran Empire who doesn't have a goatee.
Just wakes up and shaves every single day. Things will be done correct under my order.
destroying the follicles.
What would the Terran universe Cisco
Afro.
like
Giant
just like
fucking afro.
Yeah. All right. Shit.
Straight 80s
That's it.
afro.
That is it.
Like a little baby, like early Kobe baby fro. Okay. It is on to me now. I guess I better get my second away team because these cats are... I feel like this is going to be either a dumb move or this might sneakily win me the whole thing. Kelvin Spock will be on my away team.
All right.
So I will have TOS Spock and Kelvin Spock
Ooh, that's
working together.
That's
Locked
a
it down.
risky endeavor.
That is,
down.
Well, they know each other.
Yeah,
That's true.
They have a good working relationship.
They've met.
Yeah, right.
A couple times. I'm assuming they probably had casual contact in between the movies that we don't know about.
Ooh, casual Vulcan contact.
Oh, yeah, a little pun.
That's right here,
Spock be throwing that dinner across the room again.
Yeah, I really dug Zach Quinto's performance as Spock. Like when they first announced that, I was like, Skyler?
No, that dude looks just like him.
I was like, yo, that just kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
And then
I knew
he
him
brought
from
it.
I knew him from 24 before that because he was on the third season of 24, I think, as a computer tech, and I
Yeah.
was like, this guy's a
That's right.
really great pick for Spock.
Yeah, wasn't he the one that kept fighting with Chloe all the time?
He was.
They
he
were
was a
bickering.
real bitch, and that's how I knew he'd be a good Spock.
Yeah.
He just nice and lean and lanky and just kind of looks that role for Spock. And I think he really pulled it off. What's your thoughts there, old Pete, on Kelvin Spock?
I think I definitely think that in the very short time, in terms of time we've spent with Spock in the original series, and and then the time that we've spent with him in the Kelvin timeline, I think even in that small little bit, I think he's shown more emotion in
far more.
in the Kelvin timeline than he showed in anywhere else.
Yes.
Almost choked out Kirk.
So that's so that's good. But I feel like too, one of my problems with the Kelvin Spock is that I feel like he's arrogant. I feel like
his live long and prosper in the first Star Trek is just so full of like arrogance.
Felt a little full, like he was straining to do it right, and he's just.
Oh no, I think it was full of attitude.
Well, no, I mean, but like. Well, yeah.
When he's talking to the Vulcan Science Council after they don't.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah, the venom.
That lived long.
That was a little venomous. Yeah,
that was a little venomous.
But you knew because he had some metal guitar, I think, accompanying that, so you knew he was. That was it.
Yeah, fucking love that.
But then you do also have to remember that the Spock did watch Vulcan get destroyed. That
different Spock. Yeah,
Kelvin Spock. So he's going to obviously be altered by that, and So I don't know. I think if you stack the two of them, I mean, you grabbed them both, so it doesn't fucking matter. But I mean,
I'm eating.
But I mean, if I have my choice, TOS Spock is I think the better of the two Spocks. But
right on.
I didn't mind it. I think Zachary Quinto looks like him.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely embodies him, and it's and is changed by what he sees. So.
I'm going to say I did not think this many Kelvins were going to get taken. It's nice to see the Kelvin people.
That is kind of wild.
I was not expecting that.
The thing I do like Spock and Kirk's relationship in the Kelvin timeline. The one thing I think has not been mined as well is the Spock Kirk McCoy dynamic.
Yeah, the whole
Kelvin timeline. I was like, you got to realize how important all three of them are,
because the angel and the devil on his shoulder at all times.
Yes,
like that's got to happen.
And I feel like if we got good Kirk Spock in Star Trek and Star Trek Into Darkness, you got good Spock Bones in Beyond.
Yes, you did. Yep.
And I feel like if we just got that last movie, they might have been able to nail that trifecta. But they didn't quite. Maybe in the
Tarantino.
Happy belated birthday. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. At the time of this recording. I'm going to go ahead and take my... Oh, Brian, you don't have your security officer either.
I do not.
Well, I mean, I guess so.
I mean, at this point, like after Odo got picked, I was like,
Odo was
the security on my ship is going to be really lax.
I'm going to go ahead and take Tasha Yar.
Yeah,
because she'll die for the cause.
That's her fucking job. Yeah, I'll take Tasha Yar.
I mean, how long was Data on that ship before he boned Tasha? It was like seriously a week.
Not long.
He did great.
But
also like even
Android
now,
game.
Yeah, sex bots exist. Like you want to know. Like, it's like, does it
Tasha
all work?
was definitely.
Yeah, she wants to find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or conversely, how shitty at the Doosley Enterprise? She's like, I'll just go with the. Which is my same thought for Wanda. Like all the dudes on Earth, and you go with the fucking synthesoid. All right, God, you guys suck.
He's packing heat. Man.
Hey, man, he's packing that ship of Theseus.
It both is and is not.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
All right, so yeah, I mean, she only lasts one season. That's not by. I mean, if you have to go at the canon of the show, she gets killed off. But obviously, Denise Crosby was wanted to be released out of her contract. This is how they decided to release her in what is a very good episode.
It is.
I think, being that it's just straight dick to beat dick's purposes.
Yep. Man, it is rough.
And then every time you see her pop back on, which is the occasional here and there, like maybe once every other season, it's always nice to see Tasha back. I'm thinking
Yesterday's Enterprise was a really great one.
That's a good one.
All good things.
Thank you very much. All good things. Seeing her shuttle Picard onto the Enterprise.
And then when she comes back as Sela, Romulan daughter, the Romulan daughter that she had after the D saved the sea, right? And she stayed on with the sea, and then it's crazy.
What it's
right. Like,
even as a kid, I was like,
stuff.
if she wanted off the show, why the fuck is she back every other season?
regretted it.
I also kind of
I think so too.
I mean, anybody who was on season 1 of that show would have been like, what the fuck am I doing?
That's right. Although there's probably like some guy that was just like, that's a fucking paycheck. So like Cole Meany's like, I'm fucking getting paid.
That's right.
I'll take a transporter room free all day.
This is about to be Tarzan.
Cole Meany, nothing. That's Miles O'Brien's reason for saying it. He's like, I would love a series of minisodes, and this would have existed like
Lower
now.
Decks. It is
but
Lower Decks.
Right?
that would have just been every Miles O'Brien transporter scene, but like 2 seconds after everybody leaves the room, and he's just in there, and he's like,
He farts.
"Fucking assholes," you know? Oh sure, Miles, send him down to the planet. Okay, I'll do it again. You fucker.
All right, degree.
Mark, it is over to you. You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck, we got to pick this up.
All right.
4 left. We have 30 minutes.
Easy
4
one.
left.
Theme song, untouched, next gen.
What a
Great pick.
bag of ass.
That's
Great
the one
pick.
that's going to win.
Now here's a question. Because it's
Discovery
really
has
just,
a better one. Discovery
because the Next Generation theme is technically the theme from Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
It is.
Right?
Also,
And
none
Star
of us
Trek
were going
5.
to draft anything from Star Trek: The Motion Picture anyways.
No, I wouldn't figure. But
Yeah.
anywho,
I don't know. I'm still thinking about that shuttlecraft.
I still like. I do think that Discovery has a arguably better theme song because it's more muted. But Next Gen's
cello in there.
Next Gen's theme song is so iconic.
It's iconic.
I got
It
it.
is
There's
just when I hear it, I will be in that moment immediately. Like it sets up the whole thing. I could skip the Discovery, the DS9. I could skip every one of those, but for Next Gen, in order for me to actually be on the bridge of that ship, I must hear it.
I don't think
must
Discovery's theme is better. Like Next Gen's fucking
I think it's a better
slaps.
piece of music. I think it's a better piece of music.
Jeff Russo's doing some really great stuff with Star Trek themes, like because I think the theme to Picard is really fucking
good.
great.
Honestly,
Like,
Lower Decks has an excellent theme.
it does. It really
yeah,
does.
Lower Decks
It
has a
an
good theme too.
excellent
Yeah.
theme. It's on my list, but Next Gen has like I am literally transported.
All right, there you go. Brian, what's your pick, sir? You have a security officer, you have a uniform, you have a theme song.
Oh God, I'm gonna pick the uniform, and I'm gonna pick the very functional Kelvin universe uniforms.
Oh my God! Wait, which movie? Like which one?
The original, like the first
In
Star
Star
Trek
Trek.
movie. It's
Okay.
it's the aesthetic of the original series, but with the functionality for a
Right.
modern man.
Primary
Right,
colors
okay.
have never looked better.
It just,
think-
it
yeah,
just
I
pops,
agree.
and they look great on that bridge.
They look great on the bridge. Yeah.
But take it off the bridge, they still look great. Like that was my biggest question going into J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie is, okay, so how do you update those uniforms that were really kind of lazy? I mean, like for modern times,
They're
they
lame.
look
Because they
kinda
were at the
lame.
time they were trying to play off the fact that color TV was a brand new thing.
right. Exactly.
So they were primary
everything's like
coloring
bold
the
primary colors, but it's like as like a uniform. This doesn't really work, and then God love them, they actually made it work in the Kelvin
super
movies.
work.
Like.
Yeah.
They look great.
The
they look
print on those shirts, or like if you look
And
when
a
you close,
smaller
they kind
little
of look like
Star Trek
scales almost.
symbols.
They look little Star Trek symbols.
They're
Yeah.
breathable. It looks like Under Armour had a hand in them. You know, like,
Right?
it's like they're great.
Exactly. Like,
I would
they're
just
like
wear
Under
those
Armour.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Editor's note, I accidentally put your DS9 uniforms under mine, so you only have 2 spots left.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we should be good.
It's like
yeah.
we cannot possibly have
Yeah,
four
I was
choices left.
starting to
like,
panic a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
I've only got 3 picks left.
yeah.
and
All
it's-
right, Pete.
and it's my turn now.
Over to you, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
So, that was you had me scared there for a second. All right, so
You have a ship, a uniform, and a theme song.
Right.
It's been a long road.
Hey, we're gonna get
I
there.
got faith of the heart.
We're gonna get there.
We're gonna get DMCA'd for that, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. All right, so
No,
I'm
it's
gonna
less than
pick
30 seconds.
No one knows what this show is.
theme song. Fucking Star Trek 2: The Wrath of Khan. I think.
Bum 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 bum. That one.
Yeah. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
It's so
That's-
fucking badass.
I didn't even think of that.
Badass.
I didn't either.
That
That's
is-
an excellent
That
choice.
is
That is an
of the
excellent choice.
of the films, of any of the films. Like now, Sizzle picked the only other theme song I think that beats that one, and the only reason it beats that one is because it's so prolific.
Yeah.
Yes.
People don't think of really think of Wrath of Khan, but Wrath of Khan is the best fucking piece of music. Actually, I would wager to say that Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan is not only some of the best work in the Star Trek universe, period, but some of James Horner's personal best.
Yeah.
The fucking battle in the Mutara Nebula. I have a playlist on
tense.
I have a playlist on Spotify. I call it Awesome Movie Songs. This is a real thing. You can actually follow this playlist on Spotify if you want. On this playlist, fucking Battle of the Mutara Nebula is on there. And that motherfucker comes on in my car. All of a sudden, I drive about 10 miles an hour faster. I start getting
speed.
my view gets a little bit more this way. I just get a little more acute behind the wheel.
Okay, all right.
When you hear that fucking, I'm like, whoa! All these fucking cars are done right now. Like,
He is somehow lowering the shields on other cars on the highway.
yeah,
We don't know how.
Oh hell yeah! I'm inputting the source
he's throwing
code.
Halo Sulu in to like hack it.
All right,
I'm
Pete.
literally throwing Cthulhu Kelvin at them.
What
But
is,
yeah, Wrath
what
of
is
Khan.
your
That's
next
my
pick?
shit right there.
Your penultimate.
My penultimate
Ship
pick.
and uniform.
We're gonna go with ball sack.
That's not one of the things.
I'm gonna
you
go
should be
with
picking.
the Enterprise E from
Son of all the horrors.
First Contact.
I love that fucking show.
The Enterprise E yes, I know the Curiosity class is a bigger ship and it's awesome and all of those things, but I think the Enterprise E pound for pound would last in a fight. I mean, clearly it's, if you play Star Trek online, you're getting an Enterprise E when you're fucking level 60. You want to get one of those things. You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
What is the class of ship? That
Sovereign.
Sovereign class. Yeah.
Okay.
The Sovereign class Enterprise.
Yeah.
So
we
I
only
guess,
got
the Sovereign class. Sovereign class ship. That's what I want.
Okay.
It is. That is such a beautiful fucking shit. I am
It
not
is.
a
It is
fan
pretty awesome.
of the Galaxy class.
I am
I'm
not either. It looks
it's like
way
the
too
RV
top heavy.
of the Starfleet.
Right?
You know,
It's like big and fat in the front, and then the nacelles are a little tiny. Like
That's why they had
with
to
the
add that third
Enterprise
one,
E,
baby.
Yeah.
The Enterprise E looks like a futuristic constellation class. It's like it's much cooler.
Stretch that bad boy out. A
Yeah.
little bit.
I'm a much bigger fan of Starfleet vessels that are compact and tight and feel like a submarine in space.
So you're gonna pick the Defiant then?
I mean, I already picked the
all right, just saying.
the Defiant is definitely
Or the Reliant. You can pick that.
the Reliant.
That is a Defiant class ship, isn't it?
No, it's a Reliant class
Oh, it
ship.
is a Reliant class.
It's-
Okay.
It is the first of the
Oh,
of its
right.
name.
Yeah, yeah.
Stargazer was a Reliant class, wasn't it? Or was it?
no.
They look very similar, though, right?
No, the
talking
the
Picard's
Defiant
first
looks
ship?
like a bigger shuttlecraft. Like it's got kind of wings on the side.
Not the
disc?
Defiant.
It
No,
has a disc?
not the Defiant. The Stargazer
Reliant.
and the Reliant.
The
Weren't they the same
Stargazer's
class?
got like the four nacelles in the back.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It's
It
got
has-
four nacelles and a
quad
small.
like an
cell
X-wing.
action
It's
going
awesome.
Yeah,
there. Yeah, that's
and
right.
a smaller saucer section.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, you got 2 picks left, sir.
Jesus.
You got Security Officer and your theme song.
All right.
I have to know now. I have
God,
to know.
there's just-
While you're thinking of that out.
All right, man.
Nice.
All right.
I like dead air on my podcast.
That's right.
We're going like this is just a choice for like recognition's sake. Now,
So you are going Worf.
Faith of the Heart, written by Diane
What?
Warren. No, Diane Warren.
Diane Warren.
Diane Warren
Dionne
wrote
Warwick.
Faith of the Heart. It is the worst Star Trek theme ever, but I do want to point out that on the way over here, I was listening to a playlist of Star Trek themes, and it was the very first one on there.
Why
and it's
on
like,
earth?
It led
Cold Space.
with Faith of the Heart.
Okay.
And I put it on, and like it goes like, it's been a long road, and then like immediately Spotify on its own cut to the Imperial March. Like it was like
Incorrect.
It was like, what are you doing?
Incorrect.
It was like I need to fix this. The other thing that song has going for it, it was in the end credits of Patch Adams.
Oh, there you go.
I did not.
Again,
there you go.
has nothing to fucking do with Star Trek.
At all.
So I'm not picking that.
I will say.
I already wrote it down.
I was going to say.
Big
I would say
lead-in.
that
Faith
Diane
of the
Warren has
Heart.
written more hits
Diane
than
Warren is
everybody.
like-
Than anybody that's make music for Star
I mean,
Trek.
like, that's
Same.
true. That's true. That's absolutely true. But the song I'm going to go with is Michael Giacchino's Kelvin Universe.
Yeah.
Captures this sort of mystery of Star Trek, but makes me want to fucking get on a starship and get the fuck out there.
Yeah.
It's just like this,
so
this,
good.
this,
That
this
bum, bum,
pulsating,
bum, bum, bum.
that triumphant dun 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 dun. You know,
Triumphant is an excellent descriptor for that song.
that's
really
what it
triumphant.
is. It's like, and then the movie kind of builds to the point where it's like just just crescendos at the end when they escape the black hole effect.
Yeah,
the red matter exploding, right? And like that piece of music is just so fucking great. And a lot of what we talked about with the Kelvin stuff, I did not, like costume designer in particular, I did not envy Michael Giacchino going into this movie and having to craft a piece of music that can stand toe to toe with everything we talked about so far.
Yeah.
And Alexander
Goldsmith.
Courage, Goldsmith,
Still managed to work the Courage
Horner.
theme in there too. Like,
He
cause that's
did.
actually part of the song.
He did, but you earn it, right? Like the movie forces them to earn the Courage stuff
Because you don't hear it till the end
till the
credits.
very fucking end.
And then that
And it's tied in,
dovetails
it's like
into Giacchino's themes too.
This is
You know,
the
like
best
that.
sales
It's like
pitch for that
God,
song I've ever.
fucking-
I would never have considered that sales pitch being that strong.
I
would never
fucking
even consider
love
this
that.
song.
I love
yeah.
that piece of
It
music.
feels,
so much.
it's totally original and feels quintessentially Star Trek. Like
It
that
does.
song, the song feels like a Star Trek song.
It does.
Man.
Absolutely.
Guys,
Fuck
I'm gonna
you
walk
guys.
out of here and watch all the Kelvin again because I didn't love it as much as I did when I walked in this room. But I love
Kelvin
it
is
more
some
because y'all
dopeness,
have
man.
brought the Kelvin love so strong.
I think now, I've already said, I'm not a huge fan. I really didn't care for Into Darkness, and I was really underwhelmed by Beyond. But that first fucking
was
J.J. Abrams
awesome.
Star Trek is dope as fuck.
It's
I'll die on
so
that hill.
fucking good.
That movie's so
was
good.
good.
It simultaneously paid homage to and destroyed the original timeline
fair.
all at once.
Yeah.
It
And it
towed the
fundamentally
line.
changes. It introduces the characters as they exist at the time, and then fundamentally alters them
Yeah.
because it alters Kirk.
Yeah.
And that's just
Yeah.
that is such a smart way to make a reboot.
It was the
man.
only way that first Kelvin movie was the only way to pull this shit off. You have to have somebody because you've got to satisfy newcomers and you've got to satisfy the fans. And
Yep.
the only way to do that is to have somebody go back in the past, alter something significant, and have a splinter universe that old fans can accept. And
Yeah.
that's what J.J. Abrams managed to do.
And
with
old
the first
fans
movie.
and
did not
Trek is a
accept
good
it.
place to do that. Like of all of the continuums, there's a couple. So
I would also like to put out an editor's note. The Stargazer is, in fact, a Constellation class ship. I said wrong earlier. I meant Constitution class. Constitution
okay.
class is the class of the original
original
Enterprise.
That was the
Yeah.
original Enterprise, yes.
I tripped over my tongue, and then turns out Stargazer actually is the Constellation class.
Mark, your penultimate
Memory
pick,
Alpha,
sir.
baby.
all right,
I think we all have multiple
I'm gonna
memory
do
alpha tabs.
my
pulled up.
medical because I haven't,
Yes.
and I'm
yes,
gonna
you
do the Den Mom.
Pulaski.
I'm gonna do Bev Crusher.
Yeah,
Right.
hell
Fuck no, it's
yeah.
picking Pulaski. What's wrong with
I'm gonna do
you?
Bev Crusher. I mean, like
Fucking hot-ass redhead.
Yeah, she's
Den
hot.
mom.
She's hot. She's the Den mom. Like she's gonna take care of you. She's gonna nurse you. Like
When's your kid gonna move out?
yeah. Like I mean, I did not sign
She's
up
a star
for
cougar.
that. But if I gotta be stepdaddy, that's one thing. But
Brian's going to
Yeah, but you gotta be stepdaddy to
God,
that
nobody
kid.
wants to
I
be
don't
that
wanna
kid's stepdad.
I don't want to be a stepdad. But I will pick Bev Crusher. I think she's an excellent doctor.
You remember
and-
that episode where they got Wesley out of that situation where he was going to be put to death for
Yeah.
breaking a window, and they're like, "Why did you fucking spend a whole episode on this? Just put him to death."
Yep.
It could have been opening captain's log, credits, end credits, and infomercials for the last 45 minutes. All right, canon episode, right?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
And that Sizzle would have heard his song a whole bunch.
I would have.
Bev Crusher was on my list.
Yeah, Bev Crusher.
Oh, for sure.
Bev Crusher.
Of course she was.
She's been on every list I've ever made.
If I
in my
didn't
head.
get Bashir, it was Bev Crusher.
She was
Like-
third on my list. I had McCoy, Crusher.
Nah. She was second on my list. Bashir was first.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Right
I mean,
on.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexy man.
In
Bashir,
order,
man,
in
you know.
order of attractiveness, yeah.
I was gonna say,
But only one of the two of them was in one of the Muppet movies.
Siddick's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie.
Bev Crusher was in a Muppet movie.
That's true.
All right. It is over to my last two picks. Before I get into that, I would like to say that on my away team, I did have Reg Barkley.
You know what? Here's
Oh,
the thing.
broccoli. Good for you.
I thought about it. I thought about it.
Hey, I was thinking about him too because he seems inept. He's gone through a lot. We know that. He tries his best. He brought Voyager home.
Yep.
That's
Also, has he
saying
ever
a lot.
really technically fully failed? He's had missteps.
No, I mean, he's
had
just-
hurdles, but I think he has luck on his side at all times.
I just wondered if somebody was going to
to
have the courage
to put broccoli down.
broccoli.
Yeah.
To put broccoli.
You gotta put broccoli on there. I love it.
All right. So my ship. Yep. I'm taking it. The Defiant.
Yeah.
Today is a good day to die.
That is a ship built for war.
It is built for war.
That's the thing.
It's built
That's got
for war.
salvos on board, ready to run.
Yeah, and I got a Kirk that he can get saucy if he needs to. It's a scrappy little fella. Yeah, it gets in the scrappy little. I mean, you think it blows up in first contact, but thankfully those writers were kind enough to be like, "Don't worry, Mr. Worf. She's in tow. She's good." And you're like, "Okay,
I want to think it's like the difference between like Jeff Loeb and Kevin Feige. Like it's like the TV guys were doing their own thing. It's like we can't blow up the Defiant. They need it for the TV show.
And the fact that
Worf is on loan.
that scrappy little tiny thing trying to go up against a Borg cube makes no sense.
No, but you know
not
what?
giving a fuck.
They had
Not
the
giving a
balls to
fuck.
get out there and try to get it done.
They put a hole in that thing.
They put a hole in that.
Stones on him.
Yep.
I mean, if Worf
the photons on these guys.
Yep.
if Worf had only seen The Last Jedi, he would have holdoed maneuver the shit out of that Borg cube.
Perhaps today is a good day. Like Robin speed. All right,
Come on, that's 1 in a million.
Yep.
It is.
Right.
Time
Thanks,
for
Poe.
my final selection here. Theme song. Where's my list of possibilities? Fuck you guys, man.
Regulate. Warren G. Nate Dogg.
I'm pretty sure you already picked that once, sir. I'm gonna go with the original. The original
Sabotage?
series, man. No, it's
Sabotage. Oh man, was that an option? Holy shit!
yeah, I'm going with the original. Say, ooh,
Great stuff.
Yeah, it is. It invokes like that feel of kind of like what old Sizzle Chest said about the next generation, kind of getting you into that zone,
Yeah.
and ready for that adventure.
It's a
I
great
feel
thing.
that's the same thing that does it for me with the original series theme song. So to round it out,
The vocalist on that song, real quick, is also the vocalist from The Lion Sleeps Tonight, the one that hits those high notes in Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Absolutely
is. Did I just
Oh,
out-Pete music on a?
yeah,
you did.
I think you did. You
out-music
out-musiced me
Pete.
just now.
Wow,
Oh,
yeah, it's
there
the
you go.
same vocalist did
Badass.
as the.
that will all be edited out.
Yes, it was Nathan Lane in both cases.
So here is my final.
If I had an infinity gauntlet, I'd give it to you. But sadly, Poprika doesn't think I deserve one.
My final lineup. My captain is Kelvin Timeline Kirk. Good. My science / engineer is the original series Spock. My security officer is Tasha Yar. My medical is Kelvin Bones. My first away team is Chakotay. My second away team is Kelvin Spock. They're on the Defiant. And I got to get my uniform last, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how did we not?
Because when you put DS9 uniform down on mine, you missed yours.
Yeah. Okay.
So just put it in.
All right.
What was your uniform?
Did I ever choose?
How did we do this? We only
Because
have
everyone
one
only
choice
has one left,
right?
but I
You're
somehow
4, right?
Yeah, I'm 4.
Because I'm about to pick my last one, right?
Yeah, I've got one pick left.
You
as
all
well.
have one pick left. God damn it.
So this should be
'cause
your
you have
final
to,
pick.
You have to double pick. That's the thing. You didn't double pick this.
But I did double pick. I got Defiant, then I got the
Because you
original
filled in
series.
one on that I said on yours.
Yeah.
So just do it now.
The original. Sorry, the Rathacon uniform
right,
is my
sweet.
Oh,
the
damn
red.
it.
Yeah, the navy red. Yeah.
Navy shit.
You know, I'll be honest.
good looking.
I got to be honest. I thought that was going to be safe. That was going to be my next pick.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The Rathacon uniform, dude. That was-
My villain is Khan. From
Pick
the
in my
original
pocket.
Series, and then TOS is my theme song.
Yep.
The Sizzle Chest. You
not
villain.
terrible,
All right,
man.
My final one.
I think this is a weak
My
list.
final
No,
one.
I don't think so. I think that's good. 2 Spocks. I mean, double Spock.
He double spocked.
Double
I mean,
the
like you don't have to
Spock,
worry about
double your
Pon
fun.
Farr. They just put them in a room together.
What you got for your villain, sir?
Q.
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 Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
So nobody went with General Chang.
So
as
I
your
was,
villain.
my
man,
wild
yeah.
card was going to be the Terran Empire because I'm a 40K player and I thought that would be fun because it's the closest thing to like Warhammer and mean people, mean humans that we can ever be. But I
But you
don't,
got to go with something people recognize.
people recognize, and also because I think Q was an excellent agent of chaos, and I think that like it wasn't that he was necessarily like an evil villain. It was that he was an antagonist.
He just doesn't give a shit.
trickster.
I think he genuinely, in his heart, believes humans have the capability, and even though he's a fucking asshole,
he's
testing them the whole time and giving them chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because
I believe
of that,
he's back behind the scenes defending humanity to the
At
Q
the
continuum.
That's
Oh,
exactly
yes.
it.
And so,
Yes,
like,
exactly.
And so I choose Q as my villain because I feel like he is the Magneto to Picard's Professor X.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you. But he is like, he's like the friend that is challenging. He is the friend that is opposed, that still believes and stands by their
Pushes them to
friend.
be
Yeah,
better.
I dig.
I mean, look
dig,
at Tapestry, for God's sake. Like,
Yeah.
all he does is put Picard through the ringer.
Right. Like it's
For what? To help him become a better person.
That's
I was
right.
just going to say,
Yeah.
as a villain, he's been one of the only ones that has consistently made sure that crew specifically has grown as people.
Yeah.
So I dig that kind of juxtaposition of like antagonist and chaos. So
Q was like
Right on.
Q
He was number 2 on my list, by the way.
in the 90s. It was like when you saw John Delancey's name in the credits for
You're
an
like,
episode,
oh shit!
it was the
Yeah.
exact same feeling you got when you saw William B. Davis's name in an episode of
Yeah, so the X-Files.
right? You're like, ooh, this is gonna be good, guys.
Okay, Brian, it is on you to figure out who your security officer is.
My
gonna
security
be.
officer, I'm going to go on a limb here. This is a big limb, guys, but I did get Jean-Luc Picard. I'm going to pick Ash Tyler from Star Trek Discovery as my
Interesting
security chief.
selection.
He was security
good
chief
selection.
for about 5 fucking minutes.
yeah.
But he rocked the spot.
But he rocked, and he is also Klingon.
He is-
so,
yeah,
so
yeah.
he's not Worf.
No, he's not. He
Worf
threw more
goes
people than threw
undrafted.
him.
He did. He did. I mean, Ash Tyler's a tough motherfucker, and the shit he went through, the psychological trauma he endured. We're gonna see more of him in the future.
Yeah, I think so.
Hopefully. But yeah, his time as security chief of the Discovery, I'm going with Ash Tyler.
Should have made Section 31 my fucking villain. To go back and double back. Sorry, Mark, your lineup here, captained by Cisco.
Hell yeah.
With Miles O'Brien rocking in the
Oh
engineering.
man, you won.
Yeah.
Tuvok is your security officer.
Yeah,
that's good too.
Bev Crusher is your medical. Your away teams are Michael Burnham crying all over the place and Will Riker there to console her.
Yeah.
You're in a Curiosity class ship, which means you're going to have the big guns.
Yeah.
You're wearing the DS9 uniforms. You're gonna look good. Q is gonna be pushing your people, and they're coming out to the TNG theme song.
I feel really good about
that's
that.
really
That is a
I feel
fucking
really
great
good
list.
about my list.
Like I think
Solid.
early on, that's the funny thing about these types of drafts is that like we're all like, I'm gunning for captain, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
You were gunning for like other stuff, and you scooped up so many of like my top
Critical
picks.
ones, yeah.
And then lost
Mike-
a lot of yours to me.
I did.
I mean,
Riker, Burnham, Next
shook
Generation
out.
See,
theme,
that's what
all
happens
of
when
that
you
shit.
get
out.
when you get ones that you really, really want pulled off, but then your other picks are so solid, it makes
I'm
your
just a
list like
snake.
you go back and look at your
Yeah.
list and go, damn,
Yeah, that worked out.
I missed
Well
all this,
done.
and still this list is awesome.
It shook out.
Brian,
Well
your
done.
list. Of course, you picked Picard. You were Picard in the
Make it so.
in the read through.
Wait, did you have one more pick left?
Nope.
No, that was it. That was Ash Tyler was my last.
Oh, Ash Tyler.
Your engineer is Scotty. So
Rock solid.
yeah, he'll get you there. Ash Tyler is your security. You have the EMH as your medical. Please state the nature of the medical emergency. Your away team is Major Cure, which is a good call, and Chekhov of the Kelvin timeline. Your ship is the Kelvin Enterprise. Your uniform is the Kelvin Star Trek.
Jesus,
uniform.
I went all in on Kelvin.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
they're good
did go
movies.
all in on Kelvin because
Borg is your villain, so that'd be an interesting matchup. And they're coming out to the Kelvin score.
Michael Giacchino,
Michael
baby.
Giacchino does what he does.
Recognize.
And Pete, what are your people wearing?
Yeah, that's the only one I've got left, and so
I got an idea.
Hey, look, the Enterprise has not been drafted at all. Just give them the jumpsuits.
Wasn't there an episode of the original series where they're all wearing loincloths or something?
Also,
that ball
just
episode.
give them the
Lower
the
Decks
suits,
has
the
not been
gangster
selected,
suits.
and
Oh,
Lower Decks has a good costume.
Lower Decks does have a really good option.
Pinstripe suits from the original
Piece of the
series.
Action.
Yep.
Piece of the Action.
I would like everybody to wear the Dixon
Dixon
trench
Hill.
coat. The Dixon Hill trench
the white
coat
tuxedos
from the Big
Hell
Goodbye.
yeah, there you go.
No. This was a toss up for me because I really, really like the uniforms from Star Trek Beyond. In fact, that's probably my favorite part of that movie was how they looked.
Yeah, they
the
are
the
great
the like kind of flak jackety almost with shields. I'm a big fan of lots of pockets because you got
the
to
Rob
hold
Liefeld
shit.
effect.
You know?
Yeah, you grew up during the 90s. Yeah.
All the comic books
But-
are all pockets.
But I think that the best looking uniforms are the Discovery uniforms.
Yes, they are.
They are great.
I like
Yeah, they
I
are
like the
terrific
blue
uniforms.
Discovery with the
The kinda
bands,
outline.
the color
Admittedly,
bands for the donation.
If
of,
your number one pick was like the navy red from Khan, the Discovery is the navy blue, very similar
Right.
vibe. Yeah, like they just don't have the detachable breast. Like that's
Right.
the only
Listen,
difference.
Nobody
I think-
needs detachable breasts.
That's where the blood goes. That's where the blood goes. I disagree with that statement.
Hey, Beverly, do your breasts, detach?
I think the Discovery uniforms are
very
some
tight.
of the finest
Very
uniforms. Whoever made those shits, kudos to that costume designer. But I refused to take anything Discovery because people ain't watching that shit. in
As a
Poprika.
note, though, nobody did take anything from Enterprise. Right?
No, Enterprise is the only show that went completely
Untouched.
untouched.
I will,
Holy shit, all right.
but Malcolm Reed was
Malcolm
on my
Reed
list
was
for
on my
security
list
check.
too.
Yeah.
He was on
He
my
was,
list.
and I
Yeah.
still
He was a
chose
good
someone
backup.
from
He was a
Discovery.
I had T'Pol was one of my
Away team.
Well, damn,
away team
yeah.
members.
T'Pol was one of my
T'Pol's
away
fine
teams.
as hell.
Yeah, she's so hot.
Still fine.
my
Jolene
God.
That's you talk about boning like
Well,
that's
here's the thing with me and Enterprise is like I was like, yeah, but here's the two things I want from Enterprise. I want to see T'Pol in a shower, and I want to see her dressed as like a 1940s housewife.
Also that.
And by the middle of the second season, I had gotten both of those things, and I was out.
Yeah, there's, I think.
God, that decontaminated chamber was just the
oh yes.
Wonderful idea.
I was like, is this
Yeah.
prime time
Wonderful
television?
idea.
the best.
Yeah.
I think that your two best options were Malcolm
Get her in there with
Reed
Trip.
And
Ooh, yeah, baby.
Trip was a decent option as well.
all right.
I think Trip Tucker's a great engineer.
Yeah, just a down south, keep your shirt on, Lieutenant.
Love that guy. He's like
Yeah.
the McCoy aesthetic,
He is.
but as an engineer, I like
He's-
him.
well,
and he's
because-
like a car mechanic. I mean, I like him.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, how you guys feeling about your lists here?
Well, read mine off. You read everybody else's off.
Bad Pete.
Yeah, I don't remember what Pete drafted.
Pete drafted Captain Christopher Pike.
Yes.
Yep.
From
All right.
Discovery. Anson Mount. That man is aging quite
If
well.
you guys knew anything about Discovery, you would give Pete the win on this because
Yes,
he is
fucking would.
fucking.
God, I love
man,
that character.
Pike is so good on that show.
I
And
earned
he's got
that.
data
I
with
earned
him.
that.
He's got data with him, so he's doing some shit, man.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
With Odo as a security
Yeah,
officer. Julian Bashir is his medical guy. His away teams are Kelvin Sulu and Kelvin Uhura.
With an excellent pitch behind both of them.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're getting it done. On the Enterprise E, with the Discovery uniforms, beefing with some Romulans.
Yes.
And coming out to Star Trek II theme music.
I'm
That is a
so
rock
into
song.
my
That is a
fucking list,
great-
bro.
That is a rockin'
Here's the
list.
thing about the Romulans, though, is like it's like the Romulans are the villains. It's like I don't care what era of Star Trek you're approaching this
It
from.
works.
The Romulans are
It works.
all good villains.
Yeah.
It works.
throughout.
Yep.
You know,
Always works.
man.
I think I felt like I honestly I benefited from being first
Yes.
because I got to pick first and I got a double pick on the turn. But I've got some rogue elements on here. I think the Christopher Pike honestly is gonna miss some people, but I think in my heart I got to go with what I believe, dude.
Hey,
you know
man.
how I feel. I don't fucking
But you know,
pander,
Pete-
bro.
Pete-
I don't do that.
If you inspire just one person to watch Pike's season on Star Trek Discovery,
Oh my
you
God.
will have done your job.
I think
won.
I think I will have.
I think
'cause
we've
that-
all been positive about Discovery overall enough where somebody's going to be like,
Discovery's
yeah,
dope.
definitely watch that.
yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I think that show has that it's just gotten progressively better. Like the first season, I was
I've
like,
heard less
I went okay.
enthusiastic things about the third season.
I fucking love the third season. I don't know what people are
I'm
talking
enjoying
about,
this so
dude.
far.
I'm enjoying.
I think
I'm
the
only
third.
halfway through.
I
but,
think
you
the
know.
third season is that show's attempt at doing something original.
okay.
It is. It
because
feels like it finally got to the point where
they're
it
doing
can
their own
breathe
thing
on its own,
and now they're in a
it's-
timeline and a time period where now they can chart uncharted waters.
Nobody drafted David Cronenberg. I'm really surprised by that.
What? What?
David Cronenberg is in the third season of Discovery.
What, David, like the director, David
Yeah,
Cronenberg?
Like
David
Cronenberg
Cronenberg.
Monsters.
Cronenberg just fucking shows up.
Flies Cronenberg.
David Cronenberg. It was like the producers of Discovery looked at The Mandalorian and said, "Well, Herzog's doing it. Who can we get?" and they got they got David Cronenberg to show up, and he's like, what? It's in the distant future. It's like the 30th fucking century or something.
Which one is he? I totally missed him.
He is the scientist that is looking at Philippa Giorgio during the that's him with the glasses. And my point is, he's in the 30th fucking century, and he's wearing fucking glasses. That's my whole point.
Right,
because he's David
in the
fucking Cronenberg
in the black outfit. That's
him.
Taking him like talking to her about.
We were watching that episode, my wife and I was like, wow. I cannot believe they fucking got David Cronenberg to be on this fucking show. That's so weird. Like, it's wild.
Did anybody think to draft Philippa Giorgio?
I thought about it.
I did think about it as a away team member.
Yeah.
Because she's savage as shit. But like,
she's got the high kicks. She's got the high kicks.
Pure chaos, though.
Yeah.
I don't want that
she's
on
a
my
chaos
team.
element.
Too much Taryn.
Okay. Well, that's it.
She, however, does not have a goatee.
Fair point.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
But she does have the dark eye makeup.
She has a lot of mascara.
A lot of mascara.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the lady version of the goatee.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Tilly's probably rocking that as well.
She looks good. She looked
Tilly
good as a Taryn.
Tilly was actually on my list for away team.
Did she?
Yeah.
Cool.
Tilly was on my list.
I was thinking about her
on my list.
For a while.
Look, we love Discovery. Guys.
We love
Star
Star Trek
so
Discovery.
Good.
I had
so
Stamets, and I was like, oh, but I kind of like Tilly more than I like
Stamets.
I like Tilly more.
I don't know where you put Stamets.
How can he be that dorky and that demanding at the same time?
Well, that's why the doctors that are keeping chill.
I had Culver. I did have Doc Culver on my list.
He's a great character.
Yeah.
Hey, you show some respect. He was
Follow
in
on
Rent.
Twitter too.
Dr. Culver was on My So-Called Life.
So-called life. That's right.
Oh, okay, right on. That is going to wrap it up.
Is it? That's it? Yeah. My So-Called Life. Thanks for listening to our Star Trek podcast.
That's where we're going out.
Wait, one more thing. Also, Picard and Lower all of
New Trek is
all
great.
of the New Trek is
All of New
worth
Trek is
watching.
great.
I
Yes,
think that's a good
please
note
do.
to end on.
Please do.
Watch
Yes.
New Trek. It's really, really good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's it. Thank you. If you are donating at the $7 tier, then you got to listen to this. We appreciate it. Like I said at the beginning, I appreciate your donations. Thank you for doing what you do to help us out here. Hopefully you enjoyed this shit, man. We'll be back in 2 months with another draft. We'll figure out what it is.
Yeah.
But don't worry, you will be there voting. And good luck to all of us who have some solid lists here. So if you're indecisive for a reason. That means we did our job. Until then, take it easy, and we will see you next time around.